Good morning, sir. Sir,
Good
is my voice
morning.
audible? Principal, sir, shall we start? Good morning, all. A very pleasant and energetic morning to all. Honorable dignitaries of today's event, delightful participants, and my dear colleagues. I, Professor Syed Bilal Irfan, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, on behalf of the HKBK Degree College, welcome you all for this 5 days faculty development program on inculcating universal human values and inspiration of NEP 2020. On this occasion, I remember a very beautiful quote by the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Dalai Lama, and I quote, "In order to lead a meaningful life, you need to cherish others, pay attention to human values, and try to cultivate inner peace. Education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and providing national development. Education is for developing the students' full human responsibility and their personality so that they are able to participate meaningfully not only in their profession but also in their family, society, and their natural environment, ultimately leading to a society that is just and equitable." I recall in the same period last year, during the same month, when we had conducted an FDP on role of faculty in molding students. Professor Sai Kumar sir, who is with us today, had said, "A great teacher teaches from his heart, not from the books." The role of an educational institution, and particularly the teacher, becomes imperative to ensure the values are interwoven in all their lessons they take up with their students. Values should be a part of each lesson, each topic taken up by each teacher, irrespective of the subject being taught. The main purpose of this FDP is categorized into fourfold and which has to be inculcated by each and every teachers in their lives. The first one is development of a holistic perspective based on self-exploration about themselves, that is about human being, family, society, and nature and their existence. The second one is understanding or developing clarity of the harmony in the human being, family, society, and again, nature and its existence. The third one is strengthening of self-reflection, and the last one is development of commitment and courage to act. In this context, our college, HKBK Degree College, under the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and in association with Universal Human Value Cell of HKBK College of Engineering, has organized this FDP to enrich ourselves to be the best teacher and to inculcate and impart human values in ourselves as well as our students. Now, rather wasting much of the time, I request Professor Kavya from Department of Management to welcome the gathering and program. Professor Kavya, you can unmute and welcome the gathering.
Thank you, sir. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. A happy and blessed morning to all. And today, we all have gathered here for 5 days virtual national level faculty development program on inculcating universal human value in education as organized by our esteemed institution, HKBK Degree College. First and foremost, I take this divine opportunity to welcome Shri C.M. Ibrahim, Honorable Chairman, HKBK Group of Institution. He is the one who established HKBK Group of Institution with a mission to provide the best possible education experience through excellence in teaching and research activity. We welcome him in his absentia. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And indeed, we are blessed and proud to have one such leader who is successful in transforming his vision into reality. And he is none other than Shri C.M. Faiz Mohammed, Honorable Director, HKBK Group of Institution. He has always been a motivational element for all of us to work towards progress of the institution. We welcome in his absentia. Unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. And we are highly privileged to have a leader who gives us his continuous support and guidance to the team in achieving our every mission. He is none other than Honorable Shri Mansoor A. Khan, Honorable Secretary, HKBK Group of Institution. We welcome you, sir. Collaboration has no hierarchy. The sun collaborates with soil to bring flowers on the earth. So our esteemed institution is privileged to have one such man who collaborates and leads us to progress and function to our best. He is none other than Dr. Baswaraj, Principal, HKBK Degree College. We welcome you, sir. There is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Tabassum, Principal, HKBK College of Engineering. She is the most eminent person of our institution. We welcome you, ma'am. Now, I would like to welcome our beloved 3 HODs, Professor Nazrullah Khan, HOD, Department of Computer Application, Dr. Muhammad Kezarullah, HOD, Department of Commerce, Professor Lenny John, HOD, Department of Management. We welcome you, sir. We welcome you, ma'am. Not but the least, it is a strong evidence that an event success completely depends on the audience presence. And I take this privileged opportunity to welcome all the audience to experience the art of learning from the 5 days virtual national level faculty development program. Warm welcome to all from HKBK Degree family. Over to Bilal.
Thank you, ma'am, for your delightful and kind words of welcome. Before proceeding, I'm very glad to announce that we have got an overwhelmed response, and about 700 participants have registered from across 28 states of the country, for which I thank you all. Now, I take this opportunity to invite our Honorable Secretary, Shri Mansoor A. Khan, sir, to enlighten this occasion with his few words. Sir.
Thank you, Bilal. I'm audible now. So, respected resource person, speakers, principals of both the colleges, HKBK College of Engineering, HKBK Degree College, HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff members of both the colleges, faculties from other institutions, online guests, experts. Very good morning to you all. Allow me to warm thanks to Mr. M.L. Sai Kumar sir, Dr. H.M. Panchaksharya, Professor Anil Kumar Joshi, our vibrant member of our HKBK group, Professor Philipunisa Madam, Program Chair Dr. Tabasumara, Principal HKBK College of Engineering, Dr. Baswaraj Biradar, Principal HKBK Degree College, Conveners, Professor Said Bilal Ahmed, Mr. Coordinators, Professor Nasrullah Khan, Dr. Muhammad Khazrullah, Professor Lenny George, organizing committee members of both the colleges, HODs and teaching staff members of various departments of HKBK College of Engineering and Degree College for having invited me to participate, for giving me the privilege of addressing the inaugural function of this five-day FDP, virtual national level FDP on universal human values in education. And as per the Education Policy 2020, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to the opening ceremony this morning to this FDP jointly organized by the HKBK College of Engineering and HKBK Degree College. This is an opportune time for me to declare the official opening of this faculty development program. It is indeed a matter of pride that our institution has been organizing or conducting such national level faculty development programs in the field of education. Very often, and faculties of several institutions are also invited to participate in such programs, both online and offline, which provides an opportunity to interact with the faculty fraternity of other institutions. As we are aware that our faculties are also invited to visit other institutions to attend such programs, and the end result of such programs is to gain more knowledge. This faculty development program will provide a common platform to the faculties members to focus on the exploring various opportunities and challenges in these latest areas. All the colleges are provided a balanced platform for co-curriculum learning, professional development, and campus enhancement opportunities. Our college mission is also to provide the best possible education experience through excellence in teaching, research activities, regular FDPs, seminars, workshops, conferences, paper presentations, and other R&D activities for upgrading knowledge, for pursuing their higher education like PhDs, etc. I hope most such programs involving all the faculties will be conducted by other departments in our group of colleges, which lays a foundation for enhancement of knowledge among our students to a greater extension. The main objective of this FDP is to bring together faculties, academicians, experts, and institutions to provide them a unique platform to share their ideas as well as ever-growing development in the field of education. We at HKBK is also providing a common platform where academia, delegates from industries, faculties, and research scholars from various universities and institutions can sit together and cherish about each other's achievements, as well as deliberate the futuristic approach. The contents of the program is also to foster and overestimate the research culture among the academia and industries, facilitated by spilling out ideas by exchanging of the intellect. Moreover, it has been encouraged by the higher education departments, state government, central government, universities, accreditation bodies like NBA, NAC, NIRF, research agencies, and by the academic institutions. Generally, human values includes, as Bilal told, morals, integrity, peaceful life, respect others, honesty, caring, kindness, courage, confidence, commitment, sharing, etc. I am happy that both of the institutions have jointly organized this 5-day faculty development program. The aim on the objective is to develop clarity on individual aspirations and to develop the competence to achieve from the individual as well as a social well-being. Development of this competence necessities capacities building in skills needed to be achieved this goal. However, the development of skill is not enough for achieving the larger goal of holistic human development. The skills need to be developed on a sound foundation of values, which are the guiding force for skill development towards positive behaviors for self as well as the society. If skills are competent with the guide, the process of the achievement aspires. Value of the component which help the individual make the critical decisions of what to do when faced with the myriad choices. The Universal Human Values cell was set up at the HKBK College of Engineering in keeping in view with the vision and the regulation of the AICTE and the National Education Policy 2020. Education is a fundamental for the achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. This FDP is also a platform to discuss a wide range of issues like education, reality, happiness, success, aspiration, and gaining an understanding on our natural relations, environment, social issues, and self-confidence. This FDP covers discussions on all the levels of living of human beings, that is harmony at the level of the individuals, family, society, at the level of nature. I would like to tell about the relationship between how it should work between the relationship between the teacher and students. Teachers should respect the right and dignity of the students in expressing his or her opinion. Deal justify this thing and impartially with the students regarding of their religious, caste, economic, political, economic, social, and physical characteristics. Encouraging students to improve their attendance, develop their personality, and at the same time contribute to community welfare. Inculcate among students scientific outlook and respect for physical labor and ideas of democracy, patriotism, and peace. Make themselves available to the students even beyond their class hours and help and guide students without any remuneration or rewards. Aid students to develop and understand of our national heritage and national goals. Now, second step is relation between the teachers and teachers. Teachers should treat other teachers and other staff members of their profession in the same manner as they themselves wish to be treated. Speak respectfully of other teachers and render assistance for professional betterment. Refrain from the lodging unsupported allegations against colleagues to higher authorities, and refrain from the allowing consideration of caste, creed, religious, race, or sex in their professional endeavors. Relation between the teachers and the management. Teachers should discharge their professional responsibilities according to the existing rules and adhere to the procedures and methods consistent with their profession. Refrain from the understanding any other employment and commitment, including the private tuitions and coaching classes, which are likely to interfere with their professional responsibilities. Cooperate in the formation of policies of the institution by accepting various offices and discharge responsibilities which such offices may demand. Cooperate through their organization in the formation of policies of their other institutions. Cooperate with the authorities for the betterment of the institution, keeping in view the interest and conformity with the dignity of the profession. Should adhere to the condition of the contract. Give and expect due notice before a change of position is made, and refrain from the availing themselves of leaving except in unavoidable grounds as far as practicable with the prior intimation. Keep in view their responsibilities for completion of the academic schedule. Relation between teachers and non-teaching staff, teaching staff and non-teaching staff members. Teachers should treat the non-teaching staff members as colleagues and equal partners in a corporate undertaking within every education institution, and teachers should help in the function in joint staff councils covering both teaching and non-teaching staff members. Relation between teachers and the parents or the guardians. Teachers should try to see through teachers' bodies and organization that institution maintain contact with the parents. Their students send the reports of their performance to the guardians whenever necessary, and meet the parents in meeting convened for the purpose of the mutual exchange of ideas and for the benefit of the institution. Relation between teachers and the society. Teachers should recognize that education is a public sector and strive to keep the public information of the education programs which are being provided. work to improve education in the community and strengthen the community's moral and intellectual life, performing the duties of citizenship, participate in community activities, and should be responsible for public offices and active work for the national integration. So college faculties and students are sometimes disconnected themselves and their surroundings. In order to successful, students and professionals must not only know the basics of human values, but also about how to apply their knowledge to solve real issues or problems, and to develop commitment and competence and courage to act. I'm sure that all the participants in this FDP shall have a fruitful and rewarding exchange in the next 5 days. I look forward to learn about the positive outcome. Before I conclude my speech, I would like to thank all the faculty members, faculties from outside faculties, guests, especially resource persons and speakers, principal of both the colleges, HODs, teaching staff members of our college present here, professors of other institutions, external experts, organizing committee, coordinators and organizing committee members. I know all of them have been working with us in the beginning of the planning stage, even though they are busy with their academic responsibilities. Non-teaching staff members, supporting staff, I would like to appreciate the efforts put in by both the conveners of the HKBK College of Engineering and HKBK Degree College for conducting this 5 days faculty development program. And I congratulate for your commitment and active participation, and extend my best wishes to you all and all this program to be a grand success. I wish all 5 fruitful days of interesting and beneficial program. I warmly welcome you all again. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, 1 minute. It was not. Wait. I think the program was muted. Thank you, Secretary Sir, for your encouraging words. We feel blessed with your presence. Thank you for being with us today. Now it's time to start our first technical session, before which I would request Professor Malavika from Department of Commerce to introduce the most established academician and today's resource person, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar. Ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I myself, Malavika of Department of Commerce, feel extremely privileged and honored to be given this opportunity to introduce today's chief guest, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar. Sir merely requires any introduction though. He is well known for his contributions in the field of education. He is a person who resigned his job in 2014 to pursue his personal agenda. Professor has only one passion, the rise of great youth. He felt something was missing in the academic world. He felt that he needed to do something. He wanted to create an impact on the society by inspiring students and young faculty, ignite their minds and involve them in career building, cultivating to make a difference. He is a strong believer in individual social responsibility. In the last 7 years, he delivered about 889 lectures, conducted 151 FDPs and 158 SDPs at various colleges and universities, continuously adding value without any expectations to the course of education to improve the students and faculty motivation. Professor made his mark as a forward-thinking educationist with exemplary work by incorporating contemporary methods of teaching. In the last 1 year, so has delivered 256 webinars. Professor is a gifted teacher, noted orator, able academic administrator, and a team worker. He was a mentor to students in molding them for better employment career. He organized a number of conferences both at national and international level. His passion is to help people realize their personal and professional potential. So he has been conferred the award of International Man of the Year for IT Education by the International Biographical Center, Cambridge. In grateful recognition of his services, the CSI has conferred on him the Patron Award. He served as chairman, vice chairman, and secretary of CSI. Professor has also been conferred with the Award Fellow of CSI. Sir received Inspiring Teacher Award from Inspiring Teachers Academy. Sir received Sevaratna Award, and recently he also received Engineering Sevaratna Award. He is a member of several professional bodies and delivered numerous talks on topics related to IT. He has been the visiting professor for several universities. In the last 35 years, conducted about 300 plus training programs to the corporate sector on topics related to IT, management, soft skill, etc. So has trained several batches of IAS and IPS officers on use of IT. Sir was adjudged as the best trainer. In the past, member on a number of recruitment boards, both in public and private sector organizations. Served as a member on technical committees. Sir designed information systems for district collectorates, municipal corporation, medical and health department, board of secondary education, board of intermediate education, and a number of public and private sector organizations. Sir was a member on the PM Steel Trophy to assess the performance of integrated steel plants. Sir was a member of the CSI Nihilent National Level E-Governance Awards Assessment Team for 15 years. Sir last served as Dean for 3 years at the Institute of Public Enterprise. Sir served as the PG Program Director for 7 years, and he served as Professor of Computer Science and has put in 4 decades of experience. Indeed, it is a honorable moment for our institution to have your prestigious presence in today's event. We all are truly inspired by your deeds. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the brief introduction. And now I humbly request Professor Sai Kumar, sir, to take over the session. Sir, please proceed. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Chairman of the HKBK Group of Institutions, the Director, the Secretary, Principals of both the colleges, that is HKBK College of Engineering and HKBK Degree College, Heads of Departments, Participants, Principals of both the colleges, esteemed academic participants of this 5-day FDP, National FDP. And I like to wish all the lady participants here belated Happy Mother's Day. In fact, in India, we don't believe in this. For us, every day is a Mother's Day. We respect, that's how we do it. And this is a course, a unique course on universal human values. You must be wondering why this. We're all busy in our technical subjects, science, commerce, arts, and so on. Why this new topic is coming up. Let me tell you, government has been adding from time to time the various courses which are in need of the society at large. For example, I recall sometime back they introduced a course on gender sensitization. Maybe technical courses, maybe non-technical courses, whatever. Then they also introduced a course on Indian Constitution. People should have an awareness of the Constitution of India. And they also introduced a course on environmental sciences, because environment is very, very crucial to us. And now the universal human values. Please understand, it's not just confined to your own subjects. What are the subjects you may be talking about? Art, science, commerce, or engineering, or pharmacy, whatever it is. We need to have an overview of the society at large. It's very, very important. We are part of this society, and from society we're taking a lot of things directly or indirectly. We need to look at it. And I'd like to thank Malvika for the nice introduction. And I'd like to congratulate HKBK Group of Institutions for organizing this national level FDP in an online mode. I thought initially it was offline mode, but for some reason it was converted to online mode. Maybe this is help a large number of participants to take part in this program. If that was the intention they had, I congratulate the group of institutions for thinking about this program. Coming to the topic of universal human values. Why values? The moment you talk about value, people look at the monetary aspect, commercial. No, here we are talking about human values. You may be educated, but if you don't have the value systems, if you don't know how to live in a society, then that education is meaningless. So hence you need to bring in combination between the education and human values is very, very important, because we are part of this human society. We need to look at it. The universal values that are values that apply to all types of human beings, regardless of caste, creed, religion, gender, everything. We are all equally applicable to all of this. We need to follow that. That's where human beings are different from the animals. Though, in fact, I give lectures on wildlife, and I always say human beings are more selfish than wild animals. Human beings are more dangerous than wild animals, because I do travel in the forest because as part of the learning process before I go and it is the forest officers, I do that. A value is considered universal when it goes beyond the laws and beliefs of the systems of the society, and it is considered to have the same meaning for all people, does not vary according to region or religion or caste or community or the societies, different segments of the universe. That's where we talk about it's a universal human value. It's not just confined to one geographic location. We accept. What are these universal values we're talking about? Given the ambiguity of the term, that existence of universal values can be understood in two ways. The first and foremost is the larger number of human beings under different living conditions and subject to different beliefs find a certain human characteristic as valuable. For example, a simple thing, speaking truth is valuable in everywhere in the world where you talk about it. And in the case, the characteristic in question would then be called a universal value. That is what is talked about. The second is something is considered universal value when all human beings have a reason to think there's a character that is generally valued. You need to have a character. You need to stand by certain value systems. Whatever you talk about it, that's very, very important. Regardless of whether or not it is believed in said is characteristic, you're talking about it. For example, non-violence is again universally accepted, which Mahatma Gandhi talked about it. Non-violence could be considered as universal value because even those who cause acts of violence may appreciate the common need for peace, because ultimately we want peace of mind, but not pieces of mind. It's very, very important. So we need to have the peace of mind. Otherwise, we all talk about both in management and engineering, we talk about stress and strain. We all go through a lot of mental stress, and that's what we need is peace. And that's an area we even talk about it. Universal values are believed to be basis for human integrity, but their definition and existence remain concepts widely discussed in different parts of the globe. We talk about it, and different subjects, different sciences we talk about it. Psychology, political science, philosophy, and so many other areas we keep talking about these universal human values. What are the values we're talking about? Values are embraced by students and saying that teacher is practicing and demonstrating through their behavior both in and outside. That's what exactly morning Secretary Sir was talking about it. The teacher's behavior is important. Please understand, a teacher is like both father and mother, firm like a father but kind like a mother. Both qualities are required. It's very, very important. Your behavior impacts the student community. It's very, very important. Don't ever say the student is bad. It was never about a good student. It was never about a better student. It is always transforming them as better students is our job. We have been paid for it. It is not about better students. It's always making them better students is our job. Because when students join the academic institutions, right from the LKG, they are raw hands. How we nurture them, how we coach them, how we guide them, how we mold them, and turn them as good citizens of the country and good citizens of the society is pure responsibility of the teachers, not just that subject alone. Don't aim at just examination orientation. Can we transform them as good citizens of the country is what we need to get it. For example, love and respect for students and their other colleagues is very, very important. You must treat students with respect, especially we're all in the degree and engineering and they're all grown up, So you need to treat them with respect is very, very important. So also was mentioning, you must treat your own colleagues, both teaching and non-teaching, we must respect. Here I quote an example, which is a live example, I talk about it. Sometime back, about this, an old story 10 years back, more than 10 years back. Once TCS had a client coming from US to attend a meeting in Bombay at Nariman Point. Some of you may be knowing Bombay when trains downpours heavily. So the guest was received at the airport. The driver went to the airport, received the guest in the airport, and they started moving to the office. On the way, suddenly there's a downpour, traffic jam. 2 to 3 hours is very, very common in Bombay. So, and while going, the management told him that guest who is coming is a very important guest to us. So please treat them with respect and bring him into the office. So you realize it's going to be caught for 3 hours in the rain now. Vehicle can't move, it's lunchtime. He called his wife, he said, I have a guest with me. Can you quickly prepare some meals and then bring it here? He's an important person for us. That lady quickly prepared. She came in that water and served the food for this guest. And then later when the water received it, they went to the office, attended the meeting. While on completion of meeting, he wanted to meet the driver. They were surprised, what happened? Why this? Is there some problem? And he appreciated in front of all of them. Look at, he is the real owner of the TCS. Look at the human values. Short, small things makes a big difference. Integrity and character building, being the fair and judicious, is very, very important. We will talk about time management and maintaining schedules is very, very important. Please remember one thing. You as teachers, you need to be on time to the class. No delays are acceptable. Do you think the flight will wait for us? Do you think the train will wait for us? So the same is true. We have to be role models by managing time and schedules. Whatever we're committing, we need to take it in. Gratitude and honesty for the purpose is very, very important. You need to be grateful is very, very important. Forgiveness and no victimization, please. They're all children. They do make mistakes. It's our job to take care of them and correct them. And punishment is not the solution. Please understand. Have that counseling sessions. Talk to them one-on-one basis. Personally, don't talk in public such things. All them talk to one-on-one basis and counsel them. They all can easily transform. I'm a believer in that, and I succeeded in doing that. Is what happens. And upright and good habits is very, very important. First, we as teachers, we need to have very good habits, and students start emulating this can happen. Involvement in building the institution is very, very important. Yeah, your predecessor brought the institution to a certain level. From here to take it to the next level, it is the present faculty and teaching and non-teaching staff who are working in the institution. They have to take the institution to the next level. It's very, very important. They have done the grounding, they have done the footing, maybe they bought some level. Now from here, you take the next level. That's where your involvement in the building the institution is important. Feel that it is your institution and start working for it. It's very, very important. And somehow, people talk about only just 9 to 3 or 10 to 4 timings. No, sorry. Are we willing to work beyond if necessary? What is that? In fact, I always say young faculty who are there below 35, I should say they must work for 12 hours a day. Maybe for their own personal research, their own publications, or maybe conduct some experiments or guiding students in the new developments, new technology, what is happening it, and use that facility. I also talk to the managements. To set up an engineering college today in cities like Hyderabad or Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, it costs 60 to 100 crores. The land cost itself, all of you know. 100 crores investment, we are just using 10 to 4, that's 6 hours. 18 hours, the 100 crores is lying idle. So easily can we think about staggered timings to the faculty. Some of the faculty can come late and stay back late and use the lab effectively, or guide the students in doing their projects or some innovations. We all talk about institutions, innovation, council, entrepreneurship, development cell. Where is output? For example, I have been going around last 7 years, so many colleges, when they go to the college for the first time, they give the college brochure. When you flip through pages, people talk about, okay, 70% placement, 80%, 90%, 95% placements also people talk about. I'm yet to come across a brochure which talks about 5% students rejected of campus recruitment, they have gone as entrepreneurs. Can we create that kind of platform? I would request all the faculty here who are participating in this program, can you take up the challenge in the next 5 years? I'm not saying tomorrow morning, in the next 5 years, can you turn at least 5% of the students to become entrepreneurs? No more employment seekers. Can we produce employment creators, employment generators? That's the need of the hour. Focus more on skill building, not just theory alone. Practical is important. That's what NEP 2020 talks about, not what is important, how and why is important. How to do things are more important. That's where the focus should be more on. Doing things is very, very important. And sincerity and hard work is very, very important. Mehnat ka phal meetha hota hai. जो लोग पानी से नहाते हैं सिर्फ लिबास बदलते, जो लोग पानी से नहाते हैं सिर्फ लिबास बदलते हैं, जो लोग पसीने से नहाते हैं वो इतिहास बदल डालते हैं. They can create history. They can rewrite the history, or at least they can have one page for themselves in Indian history can happen. Think about such things. So sincerity and hard work is very, very important. Discipline and prioritizing activities is very, very important. Discipline is at most importance. And prioritizing the activities, can you list out what all activities I need to do today? And then can you classify this high priority, medium priority, and low priority? High priority activities should be done at the early hours in the morning itself, or morning hours as soon as you go to the college. And medium priority activities you can afford to complete by the end of the day. Low priority items you can afford to take a risk of nothing much is going to happen. Are we able to identify and prioritize what all activities I need to do it and focus on that, and you can achieve the great success? Most of such people have done because they have prioritized their activities. Not like the youth, for them, first day seeing, first show, first movie is very, very important. They don't mind bunking the college. For me, that's the least priority. That's the reason I don't get time to see even one movie in a year. And last 2 years, because of Corona, I'm not going to come. So you need to know what are your priorities. Prioritize your activities is very, very important. Love to the nation and humanity is important. We're all part of this country, and this country has done a wonderful job over the last 50 years, 100 years, or centuries. I'm sure all of you must know the first university in the world we had in India. Please understand. We had so much of literature. So you name any field of science and technology, our people have done wonders. Go back to the history of the country. You know so many things has been done. Today we all talk about so many things, but they're all there in our literature. If you go to the ancient scripts there. And service to society and weaker sections is very, very important. Serve the society, serve to humanity is very, very important. That's what I said. Then speaking with lips, serve with hands is very, very important. There are so many people who are underprivileged. What a little you can extend the help that can transform their life is very, very important. These are some of the value systems you can start practicing of day-to-day life. You don't need to really go through books and read the tunes. They're all there already in the society. What are these human values? Values for life, such properties immediately add to our worth as human beings. We have certain value systems, we believe it, we practice it, people look at you with high regard. Oh, here is a person whom I can trust. Here is a person who is trustworthy. He's a person whom I can trust. I know he'll complete the task before the deadline. That's the kind of image you need to do. You need to talk about brand building for yourself. It's very, very important. You talk about it. And visible values, some of them are positive attitude. Please be positive. It's all depends on you, how you are viewing things. If you think there's a positive, yes, there's a positive thing, there's negative. You have to develop that positive approach in whatever the work you're doing is very, very important. Every subject has got its own importance. Please understand. There's nothing called more or less. Same way, every individual is important in the society, is what you need to do. And be honest to the work, whatever you're doing, honest to the core is very, very important. Be brave in facing situations. When you're convinced this particular thing is not going to work, be brave to express your wish. It's for the management, it's for the principal to accept the resignation. When you feel this is not going to work, please be frank enough in saying that. Yeah, that point of time they may not accept it, but let me tell you what, later when they realize, they'll call you and appreciate you, and they'll start listening to your words, what you're talking about. And be friendly with the people is very, very important. With the students, with the colleagues, with the society. Not friend, but friendliness. There's a difference. I don't know how many of the thin line difference between friend and friendly is very, very important. Humility. Be empathetic with people. People come from different cultural backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, economic backgrounds. Please understand it. Respect the students, whatever it is, their domestic problems. And be truthful. If you can achieve it something, yes, be promised, yes, I can do that. If not, be honest and say, so this time it may not be possible for me. Yes, I need 2 more days extra. It's better to be tell in the beginning rather than saying sorry at the late. It's very, very important. And be well-meaning is very important. And make every environment wherever your liveliness. Life chahiye, not routine, mundane task you're doing it. Liveliness is very, very important. You need to focus on it. Be polite. Treat people with respect is very, very important. You need to focus on it. Every person in the organization is important. Please understand. Imagine for a sweeper has not come last 2 days, what will happen? How the campus will look like. So every person is important in the organization. We must treat with respect. Everybody is very, very important. and be polite, and wherever possible, be helpful to people. One more real life story I can share with you. Once Ratan Tata was traveling in a car along with the three of his executives. They were going on a highway. Suddenly, vehicle stopped. Then he asked driver, "What happened?" Sir, tire got punctured. Sir, I have Stepney. I'll change it in 2 minutes. So immediately the executives got down. Somebody was talking on the mobile phone. Somebody was smoking and so on. Ratan Tata quietly came and took out the Stepney, helped this flow in replacing the tire. So sometimes the executives realized, where is Ratanji? They were looking around and he was there helping the driver. Look at small things. These are all small things can be great people. Helpfulness is very, very important. You will talk about it. The most basic human values in speech, truthfulness is very, very important. Be truthful, be honest to talk about it. In action, righteousness is very, very important. Your action should speak volumes, not speaking should happen. In thought, peace is very, very important. And in understanding, non-violence is important. These are simple things. There's nothing great about it. Simple things which some of us practice. I'm not saying nobody's practicing it. And some of us may be more, some of us may be less. But what we need to do is, can we increase this percentage? Is all what we're talking about. The 10 main examples of universal human values. The clash between values resulted in the creation of Shewhart's classification scheme, which in turn generated 10 main types of universal values. First and foremost, power. People are power hungry, not serving. Today, we all talk about our political leaders as leaders. I don't know how many of you, we had one of the old-time leaders, Jai Prakash Narayan. And people used to call him Lok Nayak Jai Prakash. He said, please don't call me Lok Nayak. I'm a Lok Sevak Jai Prakash Narayan. Please note this. Lok Sevak. That's where in government, I don't know how many of you are aware, people say we are a government servant. So all these political leaders who are getting elected, they are servants to the society or the constitution people who are there, the constituency people who are there for them. They are supposed to serve the society, not leaders. We don't want leaders. Even if you're leaders, we want visionary leaders who should be able to look at the requirement of the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, what this constituency requires. That is the kind of leadership is required, visionary leaders. So the first he said is power. In turn, this subdivided into authority, leadership, domination, social power, and economic well-being. Ultimately, you need to ensure economic well-being of the society is very, very important. At least each and every person should get minimum 2 times, if not more luxuries. And that's what you must assure the people. So authority, people look for authority. Yes, use your powers in serving the public. Use the powers in uplifting the organization is very, very important. Provide the true leadership, not just enjoying it. Let me tell you, position and possessions are temporary. You as an individual, what kind of value systems are practicing, that people talk about lifelong. Today, I may be principal, director, dean, or whatever it is. Tomorrow, the question will be, what happened to you? And today, I may be having 100 crores property and then gold and silver and ornaments and so on. Is there a guarantee tomorrow they'll be there? No. Position and possessions are temporary. So be a good human being is what you need to talk about it. So leadership, domination is not going to happen, and social power, economic well-being is ultimately important. The second he talks about is the achievements. What kind of achievements you have? They are represented by the success, the personal capacity. What is that you and individual created a brand? Is there where students are looking forward to your class next semester also? No, madam, you should be there. No, sir, you should be there for next semester. Or they'll say, acha ho gaya, hisab nahi hai. What kind of branding you're creating yourself? People should talk about you even after 10 years down the lane. They should say, only because of this teacher whom I have, and today I'm here at this position. That's the kind of things you need to do. So in the prescribed personal capacity, you need to look at it. What is the influence you're creating on the people? And intelligence is very, very important, and respect of each person towards itself is very, very important. What are the qualities he has got it? I'm sure each and every one got at least some good qualities. Let's respect them. Let's learn those good qualities, what he or she possesses. And the next is personal stimuli. They are represented by extreme, exciting activities and a full life. There are certain things which gives you inner satisfaction. That activity should focus. I remember when I took a decision in 2012 to resign my job. In fact, I submitted my resignation in 2012 June, and the management thought I'm just making a joke. I said, no, I'm serious about it. And they tried to counsel me, saying that we don't have pension here. What will happen? You have a long way to go in your life. And assuming you are going to survive about 80 plus years, how are you going to lead in this? I said, sir, I'm growing old. My domestic responsibilities are over. And I may be needing just a few thousands, so that should be able to manage. And I have a house and so on. But somehow management said, no, sir, we can't leave you because we need your services, sir. And they kept on pushing. Every 3 months, I was sending them reminder. I said, please think about it. There are always people who are against. They went and told the management, no, Sai Kumar has got a better job somewhere. That's why this fellow is resigning, or got a better payback is resigning. And one day the boss called me and asked me, is this what true? I said, I'll put on paper and give it to you. I have no interest in joining any other institution, nor I'm going to work for money. I said, I'm putting on paper and giving it to you. Take it from me. I have no interest in that. And finally, after about 7 or 8, 9 reminders, they relieved me in 2014 December. And since then, I never to look back. And I've been going around the colleges and conducting a series of programs, as they were mentioning about it, for 900 lectures, 150 faculty development programs, 150 student skill development programs, and so on is going on. I travel also, not only in Hyderabad. I go to Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, and other parts. Of course, other I've done an online mode, but not. I'm willing to travel. That's not an issue at all. So you need to look at it. The next important is self-directing. It is subdivided into creativity, freedom, independence, and curiosity. Very, very important. You need to be self-directed. We're all grown up now. We're all, I'm sure, we're all in the age group 35 plus. You need to be self-motivated, self-guiding, self-directing is very, very important. Be creativity. Bring in that creativity in the classrooms, not just merely teaching from the textbook. Please understand, textbook or syllabus is in a roadmap, a guiding framework. It all depends on how much you're able to visualize, how much you're able to connect with real life, how much you're able to connect the subject with other subjects and present that in the classroom. That's very, very important in doubt, because no subject can work in isolation. Today, you name anything is a multidisciplinary approach. Are we looking at that way? So you need to build that creativity is very, very important. Today, thinking skills, not just by harding or rote learning and just repeating exam or getting marks. No use that marks. Don't just transmit the knowledge. Can you transform these young boys and girls true professionals for tomorrow? It's very, very important. So develop the creativity, give them the freedom, give them independence, and develop the curiosity in their minds. Curiosity known to the best teacher in the world. Develop the curiosity and the ability of each person to choose their own objectives. Each and every student is unique in this world. Please understand it. Look at these 5 fingers, they're different size and shape. So let them give the freedom, guide, independence, let them decide what they want. Maybe you can be a guiding force to them, but not force your ideas into it. Help them in doing the SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats, and they should be able to come up with what we will talk about it. That's an area where you will talk about it. And can we go for universalizing it? Once you convince this idea is going to work, yes, we need to universalize. Represented by the breadth of people, wisdom, social justice, equality between humans and world, in peace, harmony, and beauty is very, very important. Breadth of goals, wisdom, social justice. I give one more example. About 4 years back, Minister of Social Justice, Government of India, was conducting a program for the transgender. Somehow they came to me, they contacted me. Sir, we want you to come and conduct this program for these people. For a minute, I was shocked. I said, what is it? I'm going to talk to those people. And I don't know their issues. To be honest, I said, no, sir, we are told that you are a very good speaker in this. And so, anyway, there's some kind of force through one of my common friend, they approached me. And finally, I had to say yes. And it was on leadership. And I went and started speaking on this. To my surprise, they're all highly educated. They work in NGOs. Some of them work in government organizations. Some of them have started their own business. And I was amazed. I said, all that impression what I had about transgenders, this all is gone. They are really doing a lot of great work. And I said, now, I told them that day when I was completing my lecture, I said, I'm available to you. Whenever you want any kind of help, which you think I can do it, I'm available. So please look at these kind of things is very, very important. And you need to have that social justice is very, very important. Equality between humans is very, very important. And also reflect in the unity with nature is very, very important. We need to protect the nature. I don't know how many of you are aware. We are all now concerned. We are worried. By 2050, water shortage is going to come up in a big way in the world as a whole. Like today, we talk about trading of stocks, share market. Water is going to be traded in the global exchanges. Let me tell you. Already people started small scale, but it's going to be big way. It's going to have futures. I don't know how many of you commerce faculty, management faculty, you know futures and options, all that kind of things. What is going to be traded? Now imagine what's going to happen. So unity with the nature is very important. We need to protect the nature. We need to protect the environment is very, very important, and give that nature to the next generation. Protection of the environment and the harmony of each person with himself is very, very important. The next is benevolence. In translates into help, honesty, forgiveness, loyalty, responsibility, and friendship is very, very important. Help wherever you can. I'm a believer. You help someone, there's someone else to help. Don't expect the help to come back from the same person. Maybe it comes to some other form, it comes back to you. Let me assure on that. So you need to talk about helping the people is very, very important. So you need to talk about help, honesty, forgiveness. We all commit mistakes knowingly or unknowingly. Forgive the people. There's no point punishing it. Be loyal to the institution, be loyal to the organization, be loyal to the society is very, very important. Take the responsibility on your shoulders. Don't try to shoot the gun, putting on somebody's shoulder. You need to take the responsibility and be friendly with the people in getting the work done. वो हिंदी में बोलते हैं प्यार मोहब्बत में बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. Have that kind of patience, very, very important. Tradition includes accepting the role one has in life, humility, devotion, respect for traditions, and personal moderation is very, very important. You need to talk about respect the traditions. Everyone has got our own family traditions. We must respect it. They are built on some, may not be scientifically, they don't know, but they're built scientific basis. Please understand. Go back and verify. They all behind them is a science. Without knowing science, they talk about scientific actions. Please understand it. And conformance, it also includes the capacity for discipline and obedience. Self-discipline, we're all now grown up. We need to have the self-discipline. We should be role models to our students. Create the discipline in the student communities. In fact, I say if you don't respect 3 Ds, you land up on 4th D. You must be wondering what this is. First and foremost, discipline is very, very important. Next is dedication to the profession, what you're taken up. And devotion, take it as devotion. If you ignore any one of them, defeat will come to you without your permission. It just walks into you. Discipline, dedication, and devotion, or some people also call it determination, is very, very important. My dear faculty, desire changes nothing. Decision changes something. Determination can transform everything. Can happen. You need to have the power of determination in bringing in human values into the classroom in some form or the other. What are the subjects you're talking about? Everywhere it's possible. We have been experiencing, we have been following it, and it's possible. And lastly, we talk about security. It includes the personal cleansing from a mental point of view. Family security, national security, stability of social order, and reciprocity favor sense of belongingness and health is very, very important. You need to talk about financial security, health security, national security. Everything is important. Please understand. You need to ensure mental point of view, family security. We need to protect our family. It's very, very important. And national security is very, very important. And the stability of social order is very, very important because we can't have troubles in the society. These are small things which can be easily practiced. At this point of time, I'd like to pose a couple of questions. The first and foremost I have a question is, I talked about just now on security. What is the difference between safety and security? Yeah, you can type in the chat box. I'm watching chat box. What is the difference between safety and security? Don't Google it. Google will confuse you. You need to use your brain power. Yeah, quickly. I was told 700 participants. Some of them are online, some of them may be watching on YouTube. At least those who are online, they can respond. What is the difference between safety and security? No. At least a couple of people can respond, please. When we are not responding, how do you expect students to respond to our questions tomorrow in the classroom? Please. Yeah, somebody is typing. Okay, let me answer this question. There's also another question has come up. The answer is very simple. I believe in answer to be short, sweet, and crispy. My answer to safety and security: safety is accidental, security is intentional. Okay. Safety is accidental, security is intentional. When you're driving a two-wheeler, you put a helmet. When you're driving four-wheeler, you put a seat belt. Accidentally, something may happen to protect your dignity. Safety measures. Security, we have the border security force at Indo-China border. Because from the other side, intentionally, they want to grab our land. So security there. Or banking network, cyber criminal, they are hacking. No, we have cyber security, banking security, network security, we talk about it. They are intentional attacks. So safety is against accidental attacks, security is intentional attacks. Yeah, there's somebody has put in a question, let me read for you. Sir, how can we make students employment generators, especially in the field of law? Oh, law. Come on, law is the most appropriate field to become self-employers. You can start your own legal firms. You can start your own legal counseling cells. There are people who are willing to pay huge amounts of money for all these kind of things. You can be independent law practitioners. You can be legal advisors. Those are the areas where there is a possibility. You can do family counseling. There's so many family issues are coming up, so many divorce cases, and so many other cases which are coming up. So there are a number of such cases. So many land disputes are coming up. So those areas where you can be independent counsel, it's possible to think about it. Legal profession has certainly, you name any field, there are opportunities. It's all depends on how we are thinking about it. There's so much of literature available today. Unlike the olden days when we were students, we are depending on library. Today you have everything on your smartphones, your Google, your YouTube, your Wikipedia, and you name anything today you get it. Unlike our generation where we have to go and sit library and read. And you go to library, that book may or may not, somebody might have got it show, but today you don't need to worry about it. You name any subject, there is a possibility of employment generation, let me tell you. It's all depends on how you look at it. Everything can be commercialized, not with looting the society, but to get some survival for us and survival for the people who are working for us in this organization. So it's possible, think about it. Yeah, any other question? There's only a question came up so far. Okay. What do you mean by values are human values? Character-oriented education that instills basic values and ethnic values in one's psyche called value. Now, today is very, very important, not just teaching. What people are not talking about is value-based education. How we are inculcating the value systems in teaching any subject, what is maybe physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, commerce, economics, civics, whatever it is. How we inculcate these things is very, very important, because ultimately, at the end of the academic, whatever the student is pursuing, maybe graduation or post-graduation, whatever it is, at the end of it, he must become a good citizen, good technocrat of the country, good professional of the country is very, very important. And that's what is being talked about. So character-oriented education instills basic values, ethic values in one's psyche, and that's what we're talking about. Value education is what is very, very important. I'm a regular speaker at Maulana Azad National Urdu University in Hyderabad, and most often they ask me to talk on value-based education. I keep telling madam, I've been talking on this topic, give me some other topic. No, sir, this topic only you can speak, others they're not able to speak this. And so that's how it goes. Of course, they come, sometimes she gives me other topics, but mostly she prefers this topic from me. The subject that enables us to understand what is valuable. What is that you need to value? Is it money? Is it property? Is it gold, diamonds? No. What is it you need to value it? The human's integrity, human's truthfulness, human's peace of mind. These are things which are more important. The subject that enables us to understand what is valuable for human happiness is called value education, which makes human happy. Ultimately, it's very, very important. आपको करोड़ों का माल है, करोड़ों का पैसा है. If you're not happy at the end of the day, you don't get a proper sleep. What is the use of that money? All that money you will pay tomorrow to the corporate hospitals. All of us in last 2 years, the pandemic, the corporate hospitals have charged billing 10 to 30 lakhs billing their done just for 3 days of hospitalization. And most cases, patient died. We did not come back. Look at it. So money is not going to do everything. The peace of mind is very, very important. Value education is important to help everyone in improving the value system that they hold and put it to use. Very good. One is holding it and putting it to practice is very, very important. Speaking is fine. How much we implement it is very, very important. Because everything you can't measure it with money. There's a limit beyond which money is. You're all maybe in the growing stage, you need money. I'm for it, is not allowed. Once you cross some limit, let's say you fulfill your domestic responsibility, then what will you do with money? If you have more money, you will not get peace of mind. And your children will start fighting. I need more share in this and in that, and will happen. I always tell the society, give your children good education, transform them as good citizens, good professionals of the country. That's enough. There ends your job. Don't start earning for him and for his children, for grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Then when will you enjoy your life? Earn to the extent of giving a good education. Earn to the extent of molding them as a good professionals. There ends your job. Shadi kar diya, then you be on your own. Enjoy your life. And take up the task which is close to your heart and work on that. And there, you will not get tired. I'm telling you, you will be energetic even at the age of 8. Because you are doing a task which is very close to your heart with passion, dedication, you're doing it. You don't even look at time. And that's what I've been experiencing last 7 years, is what is happening. And once one has understood their values in life, they can examine to control the various choices they make in their life, is what I mean. Once they have understood the values, how strong the values can play a role, they can easily convert their life into success. Can happen. And value education enables to understand our needs and visualize our goals correctly, is what will happen. Once you have the value systems are inculcated in us, imbibed in us, and we start doing exceedingly well, it can happen. We're able to visualize and also have to remove our confusions and contradictions, bring harmony to all levels we can bring in that. Values form the basis for all thoughts, behaviors, and actions. What are the behavior? What are the thoughts? What are the actions? It is a value system, what we imbibe in, what is inculcated, what is implanted in you. That can make it happen. Once you know what is valuable to us, these values becomes the basis to anchor for our actions, whatever we have. This is what's going to happen. And we also need to understand the universality of various human values. Most of these accepted universally, not only in India, it's universally accepted. So once you are able to imbibe those kind of qualities, you can go and survive anywhere in the world. Today, a lot of people are migrating from one place to another place. Initially, it was within India. Now people are moving across the globe. Is happening. Then only we can have a definite and common program for value education. It's very, very important, and can be assured of happy and harmonious human society. That is the reason today we are talking about universal human values. We want a harmonious human society, and this is what we talk about. Let us define, identified with knowledge that illuminates mind and soul. That's what is values. It illuminates your mind and soul. The study of moral and ethical values that makes on a perfect human being. Perfect human being, please understand this. We are humans, we are not animals. So we should use our brain power and we should see how best we can contribute to this society. Contribute to the family personally first, contribute to the village where you are located, or the city or town, and the nation as a whole, we talk about it. Value-based education is India's biggest strength, even from the ancient days to look at it. It is the biggest strength in India, even today, let me tell you. Though people may talk about it's going down, no. So even today, the entire world looks at India. This is what happens. We are known for this. The degree shows that we are educated, but can't we give any guarantee whether we are good human beings? Today, the way society is transforming, I would make two people responsible. First is parents, second is teachers. If these two people can own their responsibility seriously, we can have better society for future. Otherwise, society is going to be ruined. Our children, grandchildren have a very, very difficult life. This is what's going to happen. So the degree shows that we are educated, but can't give any guarantee what are the good human beings. I have a question to all of you. What is the difference in conduct and character? I'm sure your schools, colleges, when you come out of the college, they give a certificate. You're good, bad, or satisfactory, whatever it is. Well, nobody writes bad. What is the difference in conduct and character? Yeah, my dear participants, please respond. Make the classrooms interactive, lively. Make classrooms bidirectional for communication. Don't make it unidirectional communication. In fact, if the live classroom would have been totally interactive. I would have made all of you to speak. That's how my classes are always. And my classes are more of activity based, not just lecture alone. So I involve the people in my classes. Yeah, what is the difference in conduct and character? There's only one person responded. They say action and behavior. What about others? Well, friends, we are running out of time. The answer is simple. I don't know how many of you can recall. When we pass out of school or college, we give only conduct certificate, not character certificate. Please note this. Conduct is external, character is internal. Your character certificate can only be given by your parents or your close relatives. Others cannot do it. What I see you in the college, maybe for 6 hours, I observe you. That's what we call as external behavior. So that's why in the colleges, schools, academic institutions, we give only conduct certificate, not character certificate. Nobody gives character certificate. Only your parents can certify. Nobody can do it. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. When we imbibes knowledge as well as values, she becomes ideal human being for the society's ground. And significance of education in life. If you can really incorporate these universal human values, hats off to HKBK group of institutions for thinking about organizing this program, 5-day program on universal human values. If you can really go back and start put to practice both in personal and professional life, it makes you a better citizen of this country. That's the first thing. And makes a worthy contribution to life, your own life and your family life, to the society at large. And makes a responsible, you become a responsible citizen, responsible teacher, responsible employee of the organization can happen. And gives us value and culture as it happens. And enables us to understand our duties as citizens. We all talk about, I know I give lectures on Indian Constitution because that's one of the courses incorporated the AICT, so I go and give lectures. Everybody talks about fundamental rights. Nobody talks about fundamental duties. Go into the Constitution, there are fundamental duties listed. You need to follow it. So enables us to understand our duties as a citizen. You can understand. This is what the advantage of value-based education, not just education. Value-based education can bring in that kind of thing. Need for orientation in human values. Another very important grossly neglected area of a teacher competency has been in the domain of value inculcation. We are just looking at qualifications. Does the person possess a post-graduation or a doctorate degree and so on? If you ask me personally, I look at two dimensions. One is qualification, second is competence and commitment in subject. If you ask me personally, I'll say competence and commitment is much more important than qualification. That's how I look at it. Yeah, fine. Somebody is qualified, I respect, yes. Postgraduate or doctorate degree, fine. But what is the competency in the subject in delivering to the classroom to transform the students and the commitment to the organization? So for me, these two are important, competence and commitment. I remember I've been called as expert to recruit one of the principals in a college. So they called for application, they're shortlisted, and they were doing interview. I was wondering what they're just asking few things and subject few things here and there. And I requested the management, can we postpone these interviews for 2 days at least? I said, sir, what is this, sir? We have called everything today. You think, how can you say this? I said, please understand, you are recruiting a principal of a college. That means you need to have leadership qualities. Then they asked me, what is it we should do? I said, can you send last 3 years annual report to those persons whom you are shortlisted? Maybe possibly place them travel, no problem, don't worry about it. Ask them to go through the 3 years annual reports, and they should come and prepare a perspective plan for the next 5 years for this institution, how he or she would like to take the institution to the next level. When I talked about this, yes, sir, yes, this we need, we will do that. So they immediately said, sorry, because some reason we are postponing, and before you go, we will pay you travel, no problem, we will pay because you came all the way. And also we're giving a 3 years annual report, and now the interviews are scheduled on such and such date. You have to come fully prepared and present what will be your plan of action, take the institution to the next level, because you're principal, head of the institution. And those reports are distributed, and the people have gone back. And let me tell you, there are about 10 participants, 10 candidates were there. Only 6 came back on the next one interviews of scheduled. Out of the 6, we found 2 of them are extremely good. And I said, now look into financial aspects, is your job, not my job. And we selected 1. At the end of that, that management told me, sir, now we came to so many ideas, the institution can be taken to the next level. I said, yes, this is what was supposed to be. Not just call them, discuss, and they say no. Look at this, how we look at it. So, need for orientation human values. Another very important gross neglected teacher competency has been in the domain of value inculcation. Attitude formation and personality development is very, very important. Unfortunately, there's another word which is grossly misunderstood, personality. When somebody look at a handsome, people say, "Arey, kya personality here is?" Sorry, friends, that's wrong. What you're seeing is physique of that person. Physique is different, personality is different. Personality is internal qualities, what he or she possesses. That's what the personality is. So you should know. Realization of their social responsibility and the ethical conduct of the profession is becoming more and more significant. Is happening. Social responsibility and ethical conduct of the profession to which you belong. Please understand, teaching is highly responsible profession in the society. That's where we have been given the place 3rd position in the society. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. The 3rd one, that's the position we got it. We are next to the parents, and that's the position we belong to it. So that's why recognition of their social responsibility and ethical conduct of the profession is becoming more and more significant is happening. There exists a strong complementary between human values and skills. I have another question coming up for you. What is the difference between knowledge and skills? We use these words very commonly, they are not new words. What is the difference between knowledge and skills? Yeah, hurry up, please, because we're running out of time. Okay, for want of time, I have not given the answer. The answer is very simple. Knowledge is what, skill is how. How you do things are more important. Knowing what is not important. How to do, how to implement, how to practice is very, very important. Focus more on skill building. That's why we say, skill the nation, otherwise will kill the nation. Skill building is very, very important to talk about it. And position, as I said, positions are temporary. Build that positive reinforcement among the colleagues, among the students, among the society. Please understand, teacher has impact in the society also. So it's not just teaching in the school or college. We are the social reformers. Please understand this. Positive reinforcement influences development of values in the process whereby desirable behavior is encouraged by presenting a reward of the time of occurrence of such behavior. This prompt would put another question. What is the difference between award and reward? We get so many awards, some rewards, we keep talking about it. What's the difference? I'm not here to test your knowledge, don't mistake me. I'm here to help you. There's a reason for every question I've been given answers. Develop the habit of questioning everything. You will get the answers not today, tomorrow. It is said in Sanskrit, prashnena, pratiprashnena, abhaprashnena, abhiprashnena. Not only questioning, counter questioning also should be. All questions must rise. Don't be afraid of anybody. Just stand up and ask questions. Yeah, somebody is doing. Oh, hard work is reward. Yeah, my dear friends, my dear faculty colleagues, the answer is simple. Award is for long-term work, reward for short-term. You get Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna for a long-term work, what you do it. Significant work, what you do. Reward is, let's say this year you've done something exceedingly well, your management may say, okay, here is one increment extra for you. Reward is for short-term, award for long. What's the difference? And positive information creates happiness in the people. Helps to identify the strengths of the students can happen. Identify the strengths of the students you can identify and encourage them in directions. Utilize their strengths to accomplish the task what they have. Everyone has got some talents or the other. It's for us to identify and encourage them in that direction. And produce new and desirable behaviors, whatever you want to talk about it. And instead of giving importance to values today, we are giving importance to valuables. आपके पास कितना पैसा है, कितना gold है, कितना diamonds है, कितना property, land and buildings we are giving importance, but not value systems. Value systems is the most important for the society. Present environment, arguments are becoming baseless. Attitude is becoming careless. Commitment is becoming aimless. Conduct is worthless. And education is becoming valueless. And feelings have become heartless. And life is becoming meaningless. And youth are becoming jobless. Unfortunately, this is what is happening. I repeat again, present day environment is arguments are baseless, attitude is careless, commitment is aimless, conduct is worthless, education is valueless, feelings are heartless, and life is meaningless, and youth is jobless. The more and more jobless youth, it becomes a big burden on the society's one heart. Please understand this. I know we are running out of time. Yeah, we are running out of time, so I'll go to skip certain things, and maybe tomorrow I'll cover if time permits. Let me do a comparison between education versus value education. Education opens your mind. Value education gives purity of heart. Also, I repeat again, education opens your mind. Value education gives purity of your heart also. That means education plus purity will happen. Education provides skills. Value education provides sincerity. Education extends our relationship with the world, whereas value links with our own family members too. It's very, very important. We must take care of our family members. This is what I mean. Education makes our living better. We can earn more and more. Education makes our living better, and value makes our life better. Education teaches us to compete with others. Education teaches us to compete with others, and values encourage us to be complete personalities. This is what happens. And education makes a good professional. Education makes a good professional. And value education makes us a whole human being can happen. And education takes us to the top of the corporate ladder, or professional ladder, whatever we talk about it. Whereas value takes the whole society to the top of the ladder. This can happen. So hence, value-based education is very, very important. I must congratulate HKBK group of institutions for thinking about conducting this 5-day program on universal human values. Let me just take 2 more sentences and then I close the session. Perfection. We want the education by which character is formed. Strength of mind is increased. The intellect is expanded and by which one can stand on their own feet. I repeat again. We want that education by which character is formed. Strength of mind is increased. The intellect is expanded and by which one can stand on one's own feet. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. This is a quote of Swami Vivekananda, not mine. It's a quote of Swami Vivekananda. I'm just quoting it. I repeat again. We want the education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. Education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. Let me conclude it. Value education concerned with the very meaning and purpose of life. Very meaning and purpose of life. There are many ways we can teach students by values which they should have live in lives. You need to think about how do we inculcate, how do we make them to practice, how do we have sessions, all that you think about it. So every faculty should do value education. The universal human values, somewhere you need to see how best we can integrate and teaching what are the subjects you're talking about it. You need to bring in those things can happen. Why this topic, universal human values, has become very, very important. I just end with a quote. An institution without human values, an institution without human values is like a house without life. I repeat again, an institution without human values is like a house without life, without light. What is the use of that house then? There's no light in the house. There's no darkness. Do you want to create society darkness? No. Please think about it, incorporating universal human values into what are the subjects you're teaching and see how best we can bring it into this teaching and become a role model to your own students and in turn to your family and to the society at large. And think about it. With these few words, I will thank all the participants for patiently listening to my lecture and trying to take the questions, and some of them are attempting it. I look forward to more and more people taking active part in answering my questions in tomorrow's session. This is what briefly I have to say. If there are any quick questions, yes, I'm willing to take it. I hand over the session to the organizers. Over to the organizers, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So we'll have a Q&A session now. If anyone, any participant has any questions to sir, can please raise your hand. We can unmute you, or else you can put your question in the chat box. And people who are going live, who are watching live on YouTube, can also put their questions.
What is life? Come on, we are here. We come to this world to enjoy our life, to enrich our life, to enjoy our life, not to be routine, mundane tasks. You need to have, at the end of the day, peace of mind, health, happiness. You also need to give sufficient time to your family. It's very, very in life. Doesn't mean just earning money alone. Enjoying the life is also equally important. Be a contributor to the society at large, not just institution where you're working in. Yeah. Any other questions? Life doesn't mean just earning. No. Is it possible?
Is it possible to inculcate values in the students?
Yeah, it's possible. Why not? It's all depends on how we are guiding our children to move to the next level. Now, why don't you talk about it? Let's say you give some lecture on some topic. At the end of it, you yourself say, please go and watch so-and-so video. I'm sure they'll immediately feel happy. Or in some institutions, I know personally, they allow the mobile phones to open in the college, in the classroom. The professor himself says, please open so-and-so video. Come on, let's listen to it for the short videos, not long videos, and listen to it. On which the discussion happens, because the topic is related to the topic what is presenting today in the classrooms. So it's all depends on how we guiding, directing, and molding them to reaching the goal. It depends on the parents and teachers or elders in the society. It's possible even in the digital era. I don't want to blame saying that lack of values. We need to inculcate more and more values. That's all that I want to be positive. I don't want to say lack of values. No. Maybe we need to inculcate more and more positive values. We need to talk about the society. That's how I look at it. Yeah, nuclear families is contributing. Somewhere we had earlier, we had joint family, large families, and today nuclear families, and that too single parent families. That's becoming a serious problem in the society. That's a problem the social scientists they're working on it. And I do address some of those issues about it. What strategies can be established to establish values if you're digital learning? Digital learning, you need to clearly allocate the time, clearly channelize what kind of things can be viewed at that point of time, maybe within the classroom or outside the classrooms. Give them some experiment. Let's say you can't demonstrate because you don't have enough equipment in your college laboratory. Show them the video or give them the link and say, this video, please watch it and come back. We'll discuss on that tomorrow. Yeah, they do look at it and come back to it. Can happen. There are so many videos available on human values today. Plenty of them. So, screen not visible. I don't know. Okay, so thank you. Maybe one more question we can take it, and after that I'll hand over back to the organizers because time is very, very critical. I don't mind conducting a full day program also, but because of time, the other speakers are lined up. So okay, fine. If there are no other questions, I will thank all the participants, the patient listening. Over to the organizers, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for such an insightful and fruitful session. Now, moving on to our next session, before which I would request Professor Ramya from Department of Management to read the profile of our next speaker, Professor Salikunnisa. Ma'am?
Good morning to one and all present here. I take this opportunity as my privilege to read the profile of today's guest speaker. She is none other than Professor Salikunnisa from Computer Science and Engineering Department, HKBK College of Engineering. Ma'am has completed PGDBA from Mount Carmel Institute of Management. She has 20+ years of experience, which includes teaching, retail experience, consultancy, training and development and research. Ma'am has a strong record in both teaching and administration. She has been awarded Appreciation Trophy for securing CENTEM in design and analysis of algorithm. She is being honored with memento on Teachers' Day on the mark of contribution towards teaching. She is a life member of ISTE. Ma'am has published various papers at national and international conference, and she is expertised in conducting various events such as FDP, SDP, workshop, guest lectures, and seminar. She has been actively working towards women empowerment as well as chairperson of CICC as well as UHB cell of HKBK College of Engineering. By reading her profile, I would like to remind a quote, a woman is unstoppable once she discovers her worth. Thank you. Over to Bilal, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would request Professor Salikunnisa, ma'am, to take over the session. Ma'am. Ma'am, you can unmute and you can start. Yes.
Am I audible, Professor Bilal? Professor
Yeah,
Bilal, am I audible?
You're audible, but your camera is turned off.
I'm actually sharing my screen. Yeah, I would like to share my screen here. Professor Bilal, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So, good morning, one and all. I'm Salikunnisa here, working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I'm also the chairperson of Universal Human Values Cell from HKBK College of Engineering. So with this, let's get started. Just now we had a session from Sai Kumar sir who gave us a very brief overview of what exactly is this universal human value is. So in continuation of what sir has shared, so my session 2 would be more of a dialogue kind of a session where I'm going to share some of the proposals which is given by India Council for Technical Education. So these proposals you have to explore. You have to do the self-exploration, and you should do the self-realization of what exactly these proposals are and how best these proposals are naturally acceptable to you. So I'm not going to speak anything on do's and don'ts. So I'm just going to speak on some of the proposals which are given by AICTE. So AICTE has been doing a tremendous job in in training the faculties, particularly from the engineering domain, to acquire this program, that is Inculcating Universal Human Values, realizing the aspiration of National Education Policy 2020. The purpose of training the faculties in universal human values is to bring this kind outcome to a student in terms of student induction program. So whatever we acquire from this FDP, from the ICT, it has to go back to a student so that we can have a fulfilling relationship with student, with our family, with society, and also with nature. So I have gone through several programs, and a couple of faculties from our college also have gone through, and it's a continuous process. So I will be sharing some of the proposals. If you are a little active in this session, probably at the end of the session, since it's just a 1 hour session, so I would try my best to cover whatever best I can do, so that you at the end of the session, you all can explore self-exploration and self-realization, and you can actually think what exactly is naturally acceptable to you. So before I begin, you see this, the very goal of this universal human value is to bring in what is called as holistic development. What exactly this holistic development is? So for example, if you ask a students wants to study to become something. This is what generally a student says, or even we have said this, and we are also saying this: study to become something or to get something. So study to become something, maybe an engineer or a doctor or a researcher or an architect. To get something is, what is that get something? Maybe money or a name and fame or recognition. So studying is not just a goal, is the only goal. So studying to get something or to become something is just not the goal. So you need to take your own decisions on it. So rather than just to become something or get something, you have to become something as a human being. You have to become something as a human being, because when you become something as a human being, essentially it will give us continuous happiness and prosperity. In my next session, probably another 10 minutes, I will be telling you what exactly is the meaning of this continuous happiness and prosperity. If I ask you a question, are all of us looking for continuous happiness and prosperity? Obviously, in the chat box, I'm sure I would get 95% positive responses saying that all of us want to be happy and prosperous in continuity. So, so studying is not just a goal. A student has to become something as a human being. So generally, when you look at the student's perspective, studying in an institution, they feel the life is settled. Life is settled when you get a degree and when you study in an institution. But there is something beyond it. There is something called holistic perspective of living. So just getting studying or getting into a good institution or life settled is not the goal. Along with that, there is something called holistic perspective of living. That means as an individual, we have to think how best we are, and then as a family, how best we are, how can we have good relationships in a family, and how can we fit well in a society, and how can we cooperate with nature. If you look at the FDP brochure, there is a diagram there which says that center, it is the self. That is, we are in the center of the circle. Then next concentric circle is family. That means to say we need to have good relationship with the family. Third circle is society, that is contributing to the society in a right manner, and also using the nature. The last is nature and existence, using the nature in the right perspective. This is what is exactly the universal human values concept as proposed by All India Council for Technical Education: individual, family, society, and nature. So if you look at the perception of any student in general, I'm referring the student name here because this particular program not only helps the faculty and also the students, because maybe as outcome we have to give this to our students. But I can also tell you that at the end of the session, if you are keen and if you are going through all the proposals, definitely it gives a kind of a fulfillness among yourself. When I attended the FDP on UHV and the refresher program, I would say lot of my academic problem and personal problems, when I looked into, I tried to find a solution for it. Now I'm feeling very contented, very happy, and very nice. I think hats off to this program which I attended. So probably I will try my best to share some of the things which I heard from this particular FDP. So when I said that a student as an individual, family, he has to fit individually well, self, family, society, and nature. And for a student, it is not limited to just get a job. Get a job, good salary, and then go abroad. So along with this, there is something else also, which actually gives him continuous happiness and prosperity. This is the first objective which the AICT has given for UHV. Second objective is to make a student to fit well again as an individual, good with family, society, and nature. The third objective is self-reflection. This is something very, very important. Self-reflection is how a student can decide, or how a faculty can decide what is good and what is not good for him. For example, many times we hear students saying that I want to become an astronaut, or I want to become a sportsman. How did they get this thought that they should become an astronaut or a sportsman or an engineer or a doctor? Or because maybe they have looked at somebody who got a medal, somebody who got some appreciation, somebody who got a good salary, somebody who got a good status. So this is something called a borrowed notion. So that means students have borrowed the notions from various aspects. I'm not saying that it is wrong, but it's better if they can have a self-reflection. If it is better if they can have a self-reflection and decide what is actually good for them. What is actually good for them. The fourth objective is confidence and commitment to understand. See, normally when we interact with students, there are some students in the class, they must have enrolled for a degree program or an engineering program just from the pressure of their parents, and they're not interested in the course. So here, what is required is if we can build some kind of confidence and the commitment to understand, make them understand how this engineering or medical or skills, some skills which are helping them, that would be the right understanding. So these are some of the four, the goals which is put forth by All India Council for Technical Education. Now coming back to the slide here, what is displayed here is basic human aspiration and its fulfillment. And below you can see holistic development and the role of education. So these are something very big and nice terms. Let's explore on this. So in this session, I'm going to share some of my views which I got from AICT content on basic human aspiration and its fulfillment. And then I'll also discuss something on holistic development and what is the role an education has to play. So if you look at this discussing about holistic education development, see, we all have our aspirations. We all have our aspirations, we all have our goals, we all have our targets, we all have our aims. So yes, of course, it's very positive that we all have, and it's very nice to have. So basic human aspiration is actually a guiding goal, and we have to fulfill, and there is a process which helps us to fulfill the aspirations in a right way. Now, basic human aspiration and its fulfillment. So we have all aspirations, we have our goals, we have our desires, we have our dreams, and we have to fulfill it in a right way through some proposals. Next, once we have aspirations and fulfillment, what does this development means? Development, when you say development you say it's something called improvement. Now we are talking about holistic development. Holistic development means it is not the development of self, getting a degree and getting a good salary and then planning for going abroad and all those things. Maybe it may be right, but still. So when you say holistic, a student has to develop self. He has to develop in a family. That means he has to have good relationship component he should understand. Then he has to fit well with the society. And finally, he has to use the nature in a very positive way. This is called as holistic development. I'm sure most of the colleges, they have their vision and mission and statement as holistic development. If you simply say development, it is only the self. Maybe, more of materialistic thing, more of physical facilities. So holistic is developing self, fitting well in a family and then society and also the existence. So when will this holistic development become successful? Only when there is education is involved. So role of education. So role of education plays a very important role in bringing a holistic development to students or to faculties or anybody for that matter. So holistic development and role of education. So let's discuss all this. So I'm not going to talk about any prescription here, any do's and don'ts, or I'm not going to put some rules and guidelines, nothing as such. This is only a dialogue. Since the paucity of time is very less, I'll try my best to have a dialogue. Maybe I will put some proposals in front of you, or you can also share it in your chat box. But this will be more of a dialogue and some proposals, and these proposals you have to self-explore. So what is naturally acceptable for me may not be naturally acceptable for you. So we have to self-explore. So AICT has given step to fill this critical missing link. So human education is sanskar, and then there is a human world view perspective. We should draw a good view about education, that is basic aspiration. Then human world view perspective means maybe we have to self-explore so that we get a genuine answer, and then that leads to human values, and then the skills for living with human conduct. So we also need certain skills for human conduct, and then finally when you acquire the skills along with values, actually it leads to a very positive human society. So where there will be harmony in the society. Harmony in the society can come only when there is an understanding of values. So just with skills, you cannot expect harmony to be in the environment. So along with skills, there has to be value addition so that there will be harmony. When you look at this side, universal human values, it has got 4 guidelines: universal, rational, verifiable, and leading to harmony. So we are not looking at this content to by heart or to remember. It is only just for self-exploration. I'm sure the participants who are with me today, if you can put some thoughts, if you can put your mind and explore, I'm sure at the end of this 1 hour session, probably you will go back with some kind of contentment. You have seen we have already posted the pre-workshop survey that also has good amount of proposals where you have to explore, and then when you explore it, you get a lot of right answers. So universal here means the content. It is the whole content guidelines is universal. That means it is not restricted to any caste or creed or gender or any color. It is actually universal. The inputs are universal to everybody. It is universal to everybody. Second, rational. Rational means there is no do's and don'ts. There is no description. There is no prescription. There is no guideline. There is no impositions. It is only logic. It is based on logic. To ask questions, you have to explore. You have to explore based on certain proposals, and what is naturally acceptable to you based on the logic. You need to think, and this actually is kind of a imagination. So that is rational. No do's and don'ts. It is only based on logic. Third is verifiable. So you have to verify the proposal and see what is acceptable to you. And then you will get a definite answer. So say for example, if I'm asking you a question, whether you want to be in a relationship or opposition. If you want to be in a relationship or an opposition, definitely I would see many hands raising. So can you please, take some time and then maybe quickly say, would you want to be in relationship or opposition? Relationship or opposition? So I would definitely, get more answers saying that many of us want to be in relationship, not in opposition, because relationships is something which is naturally acceptable. So verifiability is based on what is naturally acceptable to us, and we have to validate in our own experience. We have to validate in our own experience. That means in our behavior, in our work culture. So we have to verify how the behavior of us, whether it is giving happiness to me and to others. So we have to validate whether my behavior is giving happiness to me and to others. And similarly, my behavior, how is it fitting well with the family, society, and also the nature. So that is what is verifiable. And the last is the leading to harmony. Obviously, so when you have when it is verifiable, rational, and universal, so put together all the components will lead to harmony. So the contents guidelines are universal to everybody. There is no do's and don'ts. It is all self-exploration, and you need to verify what is good and what is not good for you, what brings you happiness, what does not bring you happiness, and obviously it leads to harmony. So these are the value guided, this is a value guided skill education, which is very much required for a just and equitable society. When you say skills are for living human contact, skills for living with human contact, human value says value should be guided for skill development. You can see, compare the left hand side and the right hand side. The sanskar, the human education sanskar, it is the perspective, world view. Then you need to have a universal human values components. Then human values are all these four. Skills for living with human contact is, along with skills, you need to have value guided skilled education. Just with skills, definitely there will be an unhappiness, exploitation, wrong relationship in the family, and then society also will be corrupted. So the skills should be guided with values. And human society, how it will be? It will be a just and an equitable society. So what is this? So we faculty members, we are all co-explorers, and we have to share these views to our students. And we should ask the students also to explore. Students have just started exploring, and it's a process. It's a process of sharing the proposal. You could say, I am also exploring. So you also explore along with me and see what exactly is mutually acceptable to you. So this is actually the content, the most important content of this, so that all of us will be in a harmony, a good relationship, and we can contribute good to the society and also to nature. Now the content of this session is, so basic human aspiration, and then you have the fulfillment of basic human aspiration, holistic development, the role of education in holistic development. It will give you an idea about the content of this session, the process of this session, and what is expected achievement from this particular session. Now this is something very, very important for us. This is the most important theme. So the process, whatever is said, is a proposal. See, what is written in red letter is, do not assume it to be right, true or false. So it's just a proposal. You have to verify on your own rights on the basis of natural acceptance. Say for example, one of my colleague here was telling that I wish I could have completed my PhD earlier, maybe 4 or 5 years back. I see most of my colleagues completing the PhD. I could have done it, but I had my own constraints. Like I had a baby, I had in-laws at home, so I had to take care of my family. So I took some 2 to 3 years time, and then later on I got, and then maybe I will complete it little late. So earlier when she was talking about this, she had a comparison with somebody who's at the fag end of completion or somebody who completed. So that actually gave her some sort of dissatisfaction, jealousy, and kind of an anger, depression, and this actually led to a wrong relationship in the family. Later on, when she took this proposal, UHB proposal, and when she started exploring, and she thought, why it was good that I delayed it by 3 years, because there my responsibility was I had to take care of my child, and then I had to take care of my in-laws for some time. Now those formalities and constraints are done. Now I'm and now it's okay even if it is delayed by 1 or 2 years. See, this is what is verifying on your own rights. So when you verify, it gives a kind of a contentment. Now I'm seeing the same colleague of mine having a very nice contentment. She feels it's okay, 1 or 2 years delayed, it's okay. So whatever I had to do that time, I have done. Now I don't have jealousy. Now I don't have any depression. I don't have any ill feeling. I'm happy that yes, another 2 years I'm going to complete. So the proposal is here is, do not assume it to be true or false. So we have to verify on our own rights. It is purely based on natural acceptance. And another interesting thing, it's a process of dialogue. It's a dialogue between me and you. To start with, then later on, it actually soon becomes a dialogue within yourself. Now, what is actually here? Now, what you have to do here is, there is something called verifying and comparing. Verifying and comparing. When you verify the proposals, actually, what is naturally acceptable to you, you get a genuine answer. The colleague of mine, she verified the proposal. She thought what was naturally acceptable to her, and it gave a genuine answer, and she was very happy. Same thing if you try to compare. Compare is you have heard something earlier. Maybe some from somewhere you heard this. You have to complete the course in 3 years, or somebody is finishing very fast. So when you have heard something earlier with no verification, it will lead to a match or a mismatch, and it gives the kind of a discomfort. So rather than going for a comparison, it's always better to verify. We have to verify on our own rights what is based on natural acceptance, what is actually naturally acceptable to me. So now again I put forth this question again to you. What is naturally acceptable to you? Is it relationship or opposition? I would like to see some, you can just put it in the chat box, or I would like to just have a look at it. What is naturally acceptable to you? Is it a feeling of relationship or opposition? Respond within yourself. Respond within yourself. Respond within yourself. What is naturally acceptable to you? Feeling of relationship or opposition? Feeling of relationship or opposition? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I got some views here saying that most of us have said feeling of relationship. So we have to find out from our end. Maybe we got this content. Maybe we are taught about this, or we have read in some books, or maybe it is simply intrinsic. It is basic for us. So living in a relationship is very nice within ourselves. Living in opposition is not good. It is not good for us. Living in opposition in organization or society, which is not naturally acceptable. So this entire workshop is based on reference to what is naturally acceptable. We are only talking about the positive aspects here, so that we can reflect what is naturally acceptable to me. I'm going to take it up. So then you get a genuine answer. So what I'm thinking, then you'll feel that what I'm thinking is right. I'm not dependent on outside evaluation. Most of the time we take a decision based on outside evaluation. So if you evaluate, if you explore and based on your natural acceptance, you will get an answer, and you think you are right, and you are not dependent on evaluation. On the basis of verification, I can evaluate myself. That's the important point. I think we all have to take it today. We have to evaluate. We have to evaluate ourselves. And dialogue, yes, it's a dialogue between me and you. Since it's an online program, due to time constraints, I may not be able to listen to all of you, but yes, I'm going to check into my chat box and then answer your queries, and probably I'll give the mic to one or two here, so that we can actually share some of the proposals. So we did have offline programs of this kind, where there was everybody, there was a real conversation was happening, and listening to everybody. But since it is online, maybe we have that we have a little constraint. So look at yourself. Look at yourself, and you see that most of the time we keep talking to ourselves. We keep talking to ourselves. Or if I'm addressing this to you, I say that you keep talking to yourself. Now, if I'm asking a question, who is the person on this earth with whom you have talked the most? Who's the person on this earth with whom you have talked the most? What do you think? What do you think? Who is the person with whom you have talked the most? What do you think? What do you think? I think you have to explore. That is yourself. Yourself. So yourself. Who is the person on this earth with whom you have talked the most? So it's yourself. There are, you have to add two distinct reality in this. Number one is what you are. What you are means it's a living part. What you are is the living part. That means our goals, our plans, our objectives, our aspirations. So interacting with the family members, interacting with neighbors, interacting with colleagues. All this is the first reality, what you are. Second is what you really want to do. What you really want to do, it is based on natural acceptance. See, what you are is a living part. What you really want to do is based on natural acceptance. Two are not the same. What you are and what you really want to do are not the same. Second one is based on natural acceptance. What you really want to do. So natural acceptance, it is the feeling of relationship. Feeling of relationship. What you are, it is just the living part. So I may get a good job. I'm earning a fat salary. I get all the physical facilities. I may also go have a feeling of opposition if I'm taking care of only what you are. But if you are taking care of what you really want to do, that is based on natural acceptance, feeling of relationship. So rather than focusing on what you are, just the goals, plans, objectives, you should also feel that what you want to do. So there is a wide gap here. There is a wide gap between what you are and what you want to do. So look at this. Now there is something called desire here. Desire. So there is something I would like to ask you a question. Do we want to be happy? Do we want to be happy? Or do we want to be prosperous? Do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperity? So let's look into the terms here, happy and prosperous. So happy, I think everybody understands what is happy. Prosperous is something I get more than happiness. Suppose for me, happiness is food, clothing, and shelter. If I'm assuming like that, something more than food, clothing, and shelter. If I'm getting more than that, that is called prosperity. Something more than the physical facility is called as prosperity. So leaving that aside, now we'll directly get into this kind of a proposal. Do we want to be happy? Do we want to be prosperous? Do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperity? You can see there is a symbol called pause and think. So I want you to explore on it. I want you to explore on it. Please think about, pause and think, and just see what is the answer you can give for this. So please put it in the chat box. So do you want to be happy? Do you want to be prosperous? Do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperous? It's not like today I'm happy, tomorrow I'm day after tomorrow I'm unhappy. Again today, first hour I'm happy, second hour I'm happy. It happens. But are we looking for continuity of happiness and prosperity? So pause and think. So let me just check some of the chats. Yeah, someone. Yeah, let me see who has replied. So I think I have got some answers. So our desire is always to be happy. Yes, with my mind only. So living in opposition will disturb the mental peace of human being. Yes. So you all have given your own reflections. So you all have given your own reflections. This is actually the most important focus of UHV program. You have to self-explore. You have to give your reflections, and you have to actually see what is naturally acceptable for you. So next, coming back to, this is the desire, what we want to be. State of being is what we are. When we say we want to be happy, are we happy? Are we happy? Second, do we want to be prosperous? Are we prosperous? Do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperity? Of course, yes. Is there a continuity of happiness and prosperity in our state of being? So why this gap? There is a gap between our desire and our state of being. So between our desire and state of being, between what we really want to be and what we are. So what is going to happen to this gap? What are we doing to fill the gap? Is it getting filled up or getting wider? We will have to explore on this. I want to be happy. My desire is I want to be happy. You want to be happy. But what is the state of being. Are we happy? Are we happy? I want to be happy, but are we happy? You have to put a question for yourself. Similarly, the prosperity. And the third interesting thing is it should be continuous, because everybody looks for continuous happiness and prosperity. Now here, next the important thing is, when you say your desire is you want to be happy, what is the effort you are putting to be happy? What is the effort? So I said there is a gap. There is a gap, if you are going in a right way, or if you are going in a way which is acceptable to you, definitely there will not be any problems. You can overcome the gap, you can make the gap narrow. So what is that effort you are putting? So if you look at the current economic system, most of our effort is going for acquiring physical facility. If you look at the current economic system, most of our effort is going for acquiring physical facility through money. So we are all working for accumulation of we are all working for accumulation of physical facility. So we don't know how much time we are giving for contentment of happiness. So I think it is for you to find out. I'm not here to tell you have to do like this or like that. It is again, you have to self-explore. So do we want to be prosperous? Do we want continuity of happiness? Just for accumulation of physical facility. So our effort, say for example, see maybe when we are sitting at home in a family, how many of us in a family, we talk about how is that I can, so maybe, you can talk to your spouse or children or in-laws or any member of a family, or maybe a colleague or whoever it is, content, what is the content of the talk? Like if you observe, when you go back home, or when you are in the organization, what is the content of the talk? Am I happy? Or you can ask this question to your spouse, or am I happy, or am I making you happy being with me? Are you happy? So we have to, are we talking about the programs for happy, or most of our time are going on talking on acquiring physical facilities, talking about share market, financial aspects, how to earn more. All this is physical facility accumulation. So you have to again explore whether your talk at home is more on building relationship, asking whether I am happy, or making my opposite member happy at home, making my parents, my children, my wife, my husband happy, or you are all the time talking about some share markets, financial aspects, how to earn money. You have to find out. So maybe I would also like to have this opinion. If some of you can just put it in the chat box, it would be good, so that I would also know your opinion. So it's all again self-exploration. So ultimately what happens, most of our efforts is going in acquiring physical facility. So we'll have to explore. So happiness, if some of us feel that if we feel that happiness is related to physical facility or something else, again we have to evaluate about ourselves. So whatever the content you are sharing in the text box will be with us confidentially. So I think we have to evaluate ourselves sincere evaluation about ourselves, so that it will not be shared with anybody in this workshop. So here, you see, it's an assumption many times. It's written as pause and think. So kindly pause and think over what is that, how much effort we are all putting on building relationships or acquiring physical facility. We all have assumed that today if I have X money, tomorrow I'm going to make 2X. If it becomes 2X, I'll be very happy. So how do we plan for our day? What is that we should do? So all these reflections, I think we have to do it. So have we assumed that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility? So this is a question for you to explore. Have you assumed that just happiness and prosperity will be ensured just by having enough physical facility? Can I get some answers for this? Can I get one reflection on this? Anybody? Can know the mic is you can unmute and you can answer me. Have we
Participants can raise the hand. If they want to speak, they can raise their hand. We can unmute from here side.
Yes. participants can raise your hands. So maybe I will give the mic to you. Maybe I will just take one opinion. I have Dr. N. Bhagyalakshmi ma'am. This question, have you assumed that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility? Hello, ma'am.
We are giving, ma'am, just it is my
Hello?
opinion only. We are not giving much priority to build the relationships. Now we are giving much importance to physical
Hello?
facility only.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am, am I audible?
Hello?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Hello? Ma'am, you're not audible. Can you set right your mic properly? Hello? Okay. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I think, we are giving, as ma'am says, we are giving more importance to physical facility. So have we assumed that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility? Maybe it is yes, or maybe it is no. For some of us it is yes, for some of us it is no. But ultimately when you look at it is no, because just with physical facility, we cannot ensure happiness and prosperity. Today I'm sitting here in my cabin, there is a fan running and all facilities I have, maybe in college or at home. But with all physical facilities, I will not be continuously happy. Maybe one part of the day I will be happy, the next part of the day again I'm unhappy, again the next day I may be happy. Just this physical facility, living with all the facilities at home, may not give me happiness. So there is something else also. I'm coming back to it. What effort are we making other than accumulation of physical facility? So what other efforts we are making? So physical facility, yes, no doubt it is very, very essential. Now, if you look at this particular example, you see this. This is kind of an evaluation. When an animal has lack of physical facility, it becomes uncomfortable. When it gets physical facility, it becomes comfortable. So when a cow gets the stomach full of grass, it becomes comfortable, sits and chews the cud. So this is something called as animal conscious. This is called animal conscious. So when the cow gets stomach full of grass, it becomes comfortable, sits and chews the cud. So what is that you can give for a cow? If you feed the cow fodder 2 times, if you give water 3 times and a shade, so it will be very happy, it will feel comfortable, and it is very happy. So same thing, what about the human being? When a human being has lack of physical facility, he becomes uncomfortable and unhappy. But once he gets the physical facility, he forgets about it and starts thinking about 100 other things. So what is happening? Human conscious. This is animal conscious. Animal conscious, when an animal has lack of physical facility, it becomes uncomfortable. But when it gets the physical facility, it becomes comfortable. Whereas when a human being has lack of physical facility, he becomes uncomfortable and unhappy. So for example, human beings, what is that the physical facility? We all want to provide good physical facility to our children, to a child at home or to the kid at home, maybe the good food, clothing, house. Is it enough? Is it enough just to have food, clothing and house? Certainly not. Certainly not. So you may have to look at your child. He needs affection. He needs sharing. He needs so many other things apart from physical facility. So normally what happens, what is happening, we spend so much time on physical facility. Actually, in the name of relationship, we want to have good relationship with the child. In the name of relationship, we are actually trying to acquire more of physical facility. So we think we have to give the best education to the child. So we need food, clothing, money, everything. But certainly this is not enough. So we need to give affection, sharing, caring, and many more things. So physical facility is not just sufficient. Say for example, somebody wants to own a home. I see, but what I was just telling you is once a human gets a physical facility, he forgets about it and starts thinking about 100 other things. For example, we are all looking for a home. We are planning for a home. It is very nice, and then we started drafting the ideas of owning a home through loan, or we are trying to see how we can manage finance. Once we get a home, we forget about it and we start thinking about 100 other things. Maybe we think of the drawing room looks very odd. It has to be decorated. Once that is done, we think, yeah, I need a car. Car is very important. And then even if already the car is there, the car seems to be very old. So I need to go for a new car. So this is something which happens in a human. He forgets about it and starts thinking about 100 other things. So check for yourself if you feel happy every day that you are getting enough to eat. You are getting enough to eat. So the first one is animal conscious. Animal conscious, they become uncomfortable when there is lack of physical facility. When they become comfortable. Whereas human conscious is lack of physical facility, he becomes uncomfortable and unhappy. But once he forgets about it and starts thinking about 100 other things. So this is a question, a self-reflection question. Something more is also required over and above physical facility. Physical facility is necessary for human being, but something more is also required. Something more is also required. Let's look into what is that something more. So to find out what else is required, we have to check on this. Is the unhappiness in our families, is it due to lack of physical facility or more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? So I repeat this, is the unhappiness in our families, is it due to lack of physical facility or due to lack of fulfillment in the relationship? It's okay. In all the families, there will be a kind of an unhappiness. So just wanted to explore. I want you to explore on this. So think and pause. And I would just give the mic to one more participant here for a share, for a reflection here. For a reflection here. Yes. So I'll go back and check the hands raised. I'm coming back to Dr. Kamini Kapoor, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Good afternoon. Yeah, you are perfect, ma'am. So, is the unhappiness in our families more due to lack of physical facility or more due to lack of fulfillment in? What is your reflection on this?
Yes, ma'am. According to me, physical facility is important. This is one thing. But at the same time, if we have all the physical facilities, but we don't have good relation with our relatives, with our family members, then it will worth nothing. Physical facility alone can do nothing with the happiness.
Yeah, nice, very nice. Thank you so much. So this was your exploration. So maybe like this, each one of us have to explore the proposals, and we have to find out what exactly what is that it is due to lack of physical facility or due to lack of fulfillment of yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I want to add one more thing. That is,
Please.
basically, we have to understand. Understanding is the best point because we have to understand the point of view of others, and others have to understand the point of ours. So, point of view of ours. So, it is just a matter of understanding. If we will understand each other, then there will be less problem as compared to, मतलब जो अभी हो रहा है as compared to that.
Very true, very true, very true. I'm just coming back to that. Whatever you said, the next word, understanding. So I'm just coming back to that very soon. So if you are all with me and if you are continuously with me for these sessions, probably you will get the entire nutshell. In the afternoon sessions, I'll be with you for 4 days. So you will get the entire connectivity from physical facility to next thing what you have said. I'll come back to you, ma'am. Next is another question for you. How many of you are aware how many pairs of clothes you have? How many of you are aware how many pairs of clothes you have? Have you ever counted your clothes? Have you ever counted your clothes? So maybe, when you go for a party, you need a different kind of dressing. And then even though it is there in the cupboard, many a times we don't know whether it is there or not. So we try to purchase something new. So what kind of clothes you have already have you counted? Probably for tomorrow's session, I would like to give you this task. So you have to just count it and see how many pairs of clothes you have. Somebody is texting me here saying that no, I have not counted. I do not know how many pairs of clothes I have. So probably for tomorrow's sessions, you can actually come back with the counts of clothes. And if you ask me, I have maintained an Excel sheet and I have updated what is that I have, how many clothes I have. So that if anything extra is there, so I actually maybe it has come from family through festivals or gifted from somebody, or maybe I have kept it and forgotten. So this is the kind of exploration I have started doing after I understood the FDP content from AICT on universal human values. So, okay, so more due to lack of physical facility or more due to lack of relationship? Let's come back. Let's come back to this. Next, let's see how much time and effort are we investing for physical facility and for fulfillment in relationship. So when we say that how much efforts we are putting, maybe the majority of the effort is going on acquiring what is called as physical facility. So something like what is the major reasoning for this? So I think we all have to find out how much time and effort are we investing. So for physical facilities and fulfillment of relationship. So in the name of relationship, see, maybe we want to give a good education to the child, a good home, and a good financial stability. In the name of to do that, we are actually spending more time in acquiring, and in the name of relationship, our major effort is going for acquiring physical facilities. Now, this is what is the major reasoning you have to find out. So there is nothing wrong in having physical facilities, but you have to reflect on it. For example, you see there are 4 people in a family, and 4 people in a family, and each person wants to have he will eat 5 chapatis. Preferably if I take North Indian families, or I will take an example of idlis of South India. 4 people in family, each one is 5 idlis is required for a person. Totally there are 20 idlis, 4 into 5. What if there are 18 idlis are served? 2 idlis less. So there will be a fight. So there will be a fight. What do you think? What do you think? So in relationship, if there is no relationship, proper relation, then there will be snatching. They will be snatching from another. If there is good relationship, there will always be sharing. Okay, if I eat 3 idlis, it's okay. You accommodate with 4 idlis. So these are some of the things which we actually experience in our day-to-day relationship. So many times, even though we have a lot of physical facilities, but still there will be a lot of relationship problems for which we have to just explore how much time and effort we are involving. Another example is, say for example, there is one TV in home and every member wants to watch his channel. There is one TV in home and every member wants to watch the channel. So then there will be a quarrel. So everybody, so what is that? There is a remedy. Everybody wants to have a TV, one single TV, so that there is no quarrel. There is no quarrel. So when you want to, everybody wants to have one TV, then they will start earning more for many TVs. So actually, it started off with relationship. The base was relationship. One TV, everybody want to watch their channel. There was a quarrel, and then everybody want one TV. So if they have one TV, there is no quarrel. To get that one TV for each, then we have to again earn more to buy many TVs. So you think on this relationship, we are actually talking about relationship. To maintain relationship, we are actually going in a wrong track and looking for physical facilities. So, but if it was only for relationship, if it was like if you are concentrating only on relationship, even with one TV with good understanding and sharing, you could have had a good relationship. Just one TV led to quarrel, and everybody wanted a TV. Thereby, again, it moved you to acquire more physical facilities. So, how much time are you spending in relationship? So, what is happening here is, in the name of relationship, we are spending more time on physical facility. In the name of relationship, we are spending more time on physical facility. So, for example, a parent wants to give good education, good life to a child, lot of money. There, the husband is working, wife is also working. Both of them are working for physical facility, assuming to maintain good relationship with the child, but ultimately the majority of the time is going only on physical facility, and relationship has taken a backseat. So how do we separate this relationship? Maybe we can take time to apologize for our mistakes. We can take time to share, we can take time to care, we can take time for interaction. So this is something which I think all of us have to look into in our own ways, and see what is best suitable to us. So before this, there is a story. One of the professor, he lost a ring he lost a ring and he was looking for a ring somewhere near the street lights. There is a pond there, and he lost the ring, and then next to the pond there is a street light, and he's looking. Another professor walks in. He asks, "What is this? What are you looking in the street light?" The professor says, "I have lost my ring." Then where did you lose? He said, "Somewhere near the pond." Then the second professor is asking him, "When it is somewhere near the pond, why are you looking? Why are you looking here under the street light?" So the first professor is saying, the pond is dark, there is light here, I'm looking here. So that means the problem is something and we are looking at something. To establish where our objective was to establish relationship, but we are all moving more towards acquiring physical facilities. Why this is happening? One of the reasons could be, see, right from the beginning, the curriculum itself has been focused in this way. That is the childhood, our educational curriculum right from childhood focuses more on physical facilities. So education is not actually delivering our needs. So most right from the beginning, the child is told, you have to be like this, you should study this, you should become this, then you should get a good job, then you should go abroad, like this. So the curriculum itself is focused so much on physical facility. So relationship is actually, what do you say, suffering. So that means more our education system has more of skill oriented rather than value based. If you look at the statistics, states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, there is 100% literacy is there. So that means from past 60 years, the 100% literacy rate is maintained. But with that literacy rate, the problems also have gone up. Literacy rate is improving. At the same time, problems are also relatively gone up. So this is a kind of curriculum we are into. So earlier, 30 years back, there was no color TV. The people were talking. There was a lot of discussions happening. But today, you see, we have televisions, we have mobile phones in our hands. So quality communication today has gone down. Quality communication is not there. I think we all have experienced this everywhere. If there is no TV, there will be a lot of communication. Even if there are fights, at least in fight, there is some communication. If there is one TV, every person has, so you will talk little less. But if you have one TV in each room, you can see absolutely the communication will be very less. So find out where the communication will be higher. Communication is higher when there is no TV. I'm not telling that there should not be a television at home. When there is no TV, even in fights, there is some communication happening. So what's happening here is communication, lack of communication has taken a back seat. Because when we are sitting, I think at homes also you see, all of us are sitting with cell phones. So we are involved with ourselves. So how much time and effort we are giving for physical facility and fulfillment? So most of the time is going for fulfillment of physical facility. And I think we have to explore on it. So I will just go back and take this. For human beings, relationship is also very important. So this is the second component. Relationship. So when you examine carefully, we find that a fundamental difference between animals and human beings. I just now mentioned animal conscious and human conscious. Physical facility is necessary for animals and necessary for humans also. But however, for animals, the physical facility is necessary, but it is adequate. It is sufficient. When you give 2 times fodder, when you give 3 times water, when you give shade to a cow, it will be happy and it will be adequate. Whereas for a human being, physical facility is necessary, but it is not adequate. Once he gets a house, he starts thinking of buying a car. And once the car is there, he starts buying another car. So this is how it is not adequate. So this is where I have to stress today. Ma'am, also some participants were telling me that just the physical facility is not sufficient. There is something beyond that. So that something beyond that, I'm going to share it now. Please be with me, have a continuity of this so that you understand the entire flow. If you are not connected with me, if there is a break in the session, if you remain absent in the proposal session, which is in the afternoon, you lose out the entire content. When you are there with me for all the 4 days in the afternoon sessions, probably you will get the, at least to some extent, the clear perspective of what exactly is this universal human values. It is not a moral science. It is not something do's and don'ts. It is something for us to explore. So when we start exploring, you can see a lot of contentment comes into your life. Probably these things we are supposed to share it to our students. That's why AICT has recommended that it has made it a mandate. All engineering faculties, I think slowly it will move on even to degree domains also. It is important that every faculty should go through this universal human values so that they can deliver this content to students. No, so now coming back, in addition to physical facility, relationship is very important. For human beings, physical facility is necessary, but relationship is also necessary. If you look at this, for animals, necessary and largely adequate. For human beings, it is necessary but not adequate. So you have the relationship with human beings and then the physical facility with nature. Now coming back, although we have recognized the need of relationship, when we get into arguments, oppositions, fights, even in the family, with close friends, colleagues at work, in the marketplace, every time when we have a fight, we want to resolve it. Yes, we want to resolve it. We may say sorry, patch up, and promise not to fight in future. But even though we don't want to, a fight does take place once again. So what we should do for this? We want the other to improve and the other wants us to improve. So for this, what is happening here? Are incidences of reaction, not speaking to the other, arguments, debates, diverse, increasing or decreasing? So you have to explore your close relationships in the family, with friends, and in the workplace and in the society. So if you look at this statistics, you can see that the developed nation, so they have more wealth actually, but the divorce rate is very high. The statistics which I have gone through from the Google data, though the developing countries have more wealth, the divorce cases is high. If it is 2 to 3% in India, in the West it is around 52% as per Google data. Particularly in Japan, it is people are fearing to have a congenial relationship. They are fearing to get married. See why all these things are happening? It is because relationships are very important. In spite of our acceptance for relationship, why is this happening? So let's check our perspective about relationship. Let us find out. This is something very, very important. I want to share it with all of you. Please know this. So let us find out if we want to, whether we want to live in relationship, harmony with others, or we want to live in opposition with others, or we believe living has to be necessarily in opposition with others. That means there is struggle for survival and survival of the fittest. And check if you feel happy living this way. So this UHB content from FDP, I said it is not do's and don'ts. There is no religion mandate here. There is no words of wisdom from anybody. So I would not refer that struggle for survival and then survival of the fittest is from the Darwin's theory. I will never even take the name, because here it is only about proposals and the participants have to reflect. Now coming back to this, something which is very, very important here is, now look at this. We want to live in relationship. Yes, of course, we want to live in relationship, harmony with others. We want to live in opposition with others. Yeah, we have to think, no, we don't want to live in opposition. And then coming back to third, we believe that there is struggle for survival and survival of the fittest. Now, what does this struggle for survival of the fittest? This is unnecessarily, it has been embedded in our mind. This struggle for survival of the fittest. Now, in our day-to-day conversation, we are using this term, but it is actually unknowingly, it has been taught to us. It is embedded. What is this? I think we have to remove this from our mind. Suppose, say, in a family, there are two brothers. If there is a good relationship, suppose one brother is earning well, the other brother is not earning. If there is a good relationship, then the elder brother is actually helping the younger brother. Then there is no struggle for survival. Then the struggle for survival will not hold good at all. Two brothers in a family, one is earning well, another one is not earning. If there is a good relationship, then there will be no struggle at all. There is no struggle. So the two brothers, they share. There is a feeling of relationship. There is no struggle for survival. Unknowingly, the struggle for survival or survival of the fittest has been taught to assume in education, and in education it has become the part and parcel of our process. I think we should have to come out of this. If there is the proposal says if there is good relationship, then there need not be any struggle at all. one member can help another member to come up. So there will, the other member also will not serve, they will not struggle for the existence. So there is this particular the phase, struggle for survival, survival of the fittest is not holding good at all. So that means what we are trying to put up in the proposal is, if there is good relationship, then there will not be any struggle, or there will not be any survival of the fittest. So if there is no relation, you have, if there is no relation, then only you have to struggle for survival. So two brothers, if they are not having good relation, if the elder brother is not supporting, if the husband is not supporting the wife, if the wife is not supporting, if the son is not supporting the parents, then there is a struggle for survival. So this very clearly tells if the relationship. So what is our present perspective, which view do we promote at home or in the family, in schools and colleges and in the society? Is it then actually acceptable view? So I think you have to explore on it. So if you have good relationship, then the survival factor will never come into picture at all, which is wrongly embedded in our mind. Every now and then we start talking about this principle. So if you have good relationship, probably it will not be there at all. Then for right understanding, so I told you it is very essential for human being. For fulfillment in relationship, it is necessary to have right understanding. So first I told you about physical facility. Second is second is relationship. So along physical facility is not just sufficient for continuous happiness and prosperity. We need to have what is called as good relationship. So the relationship, along with relationship can be good when there is right understanding. Right understanding is also very necessary. Say for example, I am sitting in a 5-star hotel, all facilities are there, I am alone. All facilities, physical facilities are there, so I am unhappy. Then I would think, I wish I had my husband in the room, so that I would have enjoyed, I would have been more happy. Say for example, the next day my husband comes to the same hotel. So if there is if the husband comes and if there is a right understanding, both of us will talk, and then we will actually enjoy our enjoy our company. But if there is no right understanding, he will be in one room, I will be in another room, even though we have physical facility, even though we have relationship. But since there is no right understanding, the husband is in one room, the wife is in another room. So I think you got my point. Just the physical facility is not sufficient. Along with physical facility, what you need is, you need to have good relationships. So I sitting in a 5-star hotel with all facilities, if good relationship with my husband, he is also there, we are having a compatible relationship, we are enjoying the company. Why? Because we have good understanding. So along with physical facilities, you need to have good understanding, and then along with physical facility, first, second is relationship. And relationship, to fulfill the relationship, it is necessary to have the right understanding. Right understanding is also very necessary. So with right understanding, what we are doing, we can have clarity about relationship with human beings. We are able to fulfill relationships. We also have a clarity about how much physical facility we need. If there is right understanding, we can sort out. We need not run too much behind the physical facility and get a lacking of the relationships. So when there is right understanding, you can have a clarity. Like how I told you, one of my colleague who said that 3 years I was short in doing my PhD. So with right understanding with her husband and in-laws, she felt, yes, this time I need to dedicate to my child. He's very small. I can't leave him and go to work. And it's the right time for me also to look after my in-laws. So with that right understanding, 3-4 years staying at home was not a difficult thing, and it was very fruitfulling. And once she came out of the 3 to 4 years, it was a very, very fulfilling experience. So that all happened because of right understanding. So right understanding is also very essential. If you look at this particular slide, pause and think, pause and think. Now, right understanding in the self, relationship with human being, physical facility with rest of nature. Now, I have one reflection for you. Which one would you prioritize? Which one would you prioritize? Can I have one reflection? I'll just check if there are any hands raised. If I have any hands raised, probably give the mic. I'll give the mic. Yes. It's a very interesting that you need second. Yes, can anybody take up this reflection? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
I have got an answer in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I have a reflection on this? Julian, answer this question. Yeah. See, I just placed the slide into. Can you just prioritize? Are all three required? Is something redundant in this? Is anything more required? Are we working on all three? If all three is required, what would be the priority? Working on high priority makes it easier to deal with the lower priority. Can you just tell me your priority? I want your self exploration. Hello, sir. Hello. 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 Okay. I think the call is dropped. Anyway, I shall proceed this, and then after maybe another few minutes, you give me 3 minutes, I'll just conclude this. So right understanding is also a very essential for human beings. So if all three are required, what would be the priority? What would be the priority? The priority would be first, see, if this is the priority, right understanding, I'm going to place it first in the self, then relationship with human being as second. That is a feeling of trust and respect and all that. Third is physical facility with the rest of the nature. So I already made a mention, for animals it is necessary and largely adequate. For human beings it is necessary but not adequate. Now what happens when I place this right understanding first, then relationship second and physical facility third. You see this. When a right understanding is first, what happens 1 to 2 right understanding first, and then right understanding will lead to good relationships. Right understanding will lead to good relationships, and that will give you mutual happiness. And similarly, if you see 1 to 3 right understanding, if you have right understanding, you will decide how much of physical facility we have to acquire, and that gives the mutual prosperity. Prosperity here is something beyond, more than the physical facility. Prosperity, meaning of prosperity is something more beyond the physical facility, something more than the physical facilities, more in terms of physical facilities. So if you have right understanding, then you will actually evaluate how much of physical facilities. Simply you will not go for more and then create some disturbance in the family. So that will lead to mutual prosperity. If you have right understanding and good relationship, it will lead to mutual happiness. Now let's see what is the next. Now here the priority is this. So you do not have the right understanding, you do not have the relationship, you just have the physical facilities. You are only having the physical facilities. Somebody having a bungalow, good food, clothing, shelter, good job, everything, only physical facilities. What happens? It will lead to deprivation. It will lead to deprivation, and then once it is deprivation comes, he or she will start exploiting and depriving others. So a person who is just having the physical facility, he'll go to deprivation and will start exploiting and depriving others. So right understanding is not there, relationship is also not there. If right understanding and relationship, if it is not there, it leads to unhappiness, and we are also making others unhappy. If we are happy, actually we will make others happy. If we are unhappy, actually we are also making others unhappy. So what is the remedy for this? What should we replace with this question marks? The question mark is this. This is the final human conscious. So first is right understanding, second is relationship, and third is physical facilities. So physical facilities are very essential. So you should have first the right understanding should be there, then right understanding followed by relationship in the feeling of trust or respect, and finally the physical facilities. All these things if you have, It will give you mutual happiness and mutual prosperity. So human consciousness, if you are living with all these three, right understanding, relationship and physical facility in the priority order, right understanding 1, relationship 2 and physical facility 3, we are living with human conscious. So human conscious is this 1, 2, 3. Human beings can be fulfilled, they can be happy and prosperous on the basis of. So this is where I think since it is I have been given till 12:30, I would stop at this and probably take it over tomorrow afternoon again. I request that all of you be with me so that you have a complete understanding of. After this, there is also something called family. First, we are talking about self, then it is family. Then in the family, we are talking about trust, respect. Then third is we are talking about society, how to be happy in the society, and last is nature and existence. So you have to have a continuous flow so that at the end of the FDP you can evaluate yourself. You can evaluate and you can analyze what contentment when you explore on it. You can based on your natural acceptance. I'm sure that at least to some percentage it will give you some sort of contentment. Maybe for to some percentage you will start feeling yes. I have evaluated myself. I have done some explorations, and this is what I am feeling a little better. So with this, I think with the permission of Syed Bilal, can I just stop the session, Bilal?
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
Professor Bilal.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you hear me?
So,
Am I
Professor
audible?
Bilal, I think we have to share that this thing. Yeah, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'll
Yeah,
do
I can
it.
hear you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please stop sharing the screen so that
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah,
okay.
I'll stop the.
Thank you, ma'am. Before proceeding, every day we will have assessments for the sessions which have been completed. So today
Just
we
one
have spent for
second.
you.
Yeah.
Today we have an assessment for you guys. So that assessment link will be forwarded in the chat in the WhatsApp groups, as well as if anyone is
I think your
watching
voice is
us.
cracked.
If anyone is watching us live on YouTube, it will be posted on the comment section of YouTube live also. So I hope everyone will fill the assessment so
Hello, you're
that,
not audible, Bilal.
ma'am, I think
Hello.
you just try to log in and log
Hello.
out, ma'am, because it is. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. So I was telling, the assessment will be forwarded in the chat box also, ma'am. I can see a reply from Dr. Kamini Kapoor. That same assessment link will be forwarded in the chat box as well as in the WhatsApp groups and YouTube live stream. So I hope everyone will fill the assessment, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time at 10 o'clock. I'll just forward the assessment link. You can see all the I think you can see the link which is posted in the chat box. If anyone is not yet added in the WhatsApp group, I have put my contact number. You can please contact me. You will be added to the WhatsApp group for the further updates. Okay, ma'am. I'll just check out whether it is opening or not. Fine, ma'am. Please wait. Khalikuni Samam, can you please give access to everyone? It is open. Okay. Participants, please check. It is opening. I think. No worries. We'll be giving access to everyone. We'll give access to everyone. I'll ask the moderator to give the permission. Thank you, everyone. Let's meet at the same time at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Tomorrow also we'll have the first session is from Professor Sai Kumar sir, and the second session will be handled by Professor Khalikunnisa. And I request everyone to be attentive and to be regular for all the 5 days, so that you'll have a flow of all the topics and you'll not miss any of the topic. Thank you, everyone. The link will be shared in the WhatsApp groups. There's no time limit for assessment. You can fill it, and the assessment should be submitted before 9 a.m. tomorrow. The assessment should be completed before 9 a.m. tomorrow. The feedback form, as you might have got mails, everyone will be shared only after the 5 days after the validatory session. And assessments will be considered as your attendance for all the 5 days. So I request all the participants on Zoom, on YouTube to write the assessment without fail before 9 a.m. tomorrow. Any queries? Fine. Thank you, everyone.